Let's do. Can the MMA community not just have one normal day? Can we not just have one normal day in the world of MMA? Why does it every single day our community does something insane to us? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? How are you, Justin Kennedy? What's up, Christian Gray? What's up, Kenny? How are you, mate? What's up, Ron Hulk? You bloody legend, mate. How are we, boys? Early stream, no work today, boys. Got up early, went to the gym, cleaned my apartment, and now we're here and we're streaming, mate. I love it. This is what it would be like to actually live the dream as an MMA YouTube creator. What's up, Kyle? How are you, mate? You're the Kyle, the one and only, the only Kyle. I was the first, but I said bad words, so I got muted. Serves you bloody right, Kenny. Serves you bloody right. What did Bryce do? We'll play the story and we'll let Bryce say it to himself, Bilal's good eye. We'll let Bryce tell the story himself, mate. How are you, Bilal's good eye? It's good to see you, dude. How are you today? Nacho, Dougie, at least let me get some work done, mate. I know, Nacho. I'm sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. Did you notice how yesterday I didn't switch to the vertical stream at all? So that all the Aussies could enjoy a nice long afternoon Australian time stream in the flat lay. Today will be vertical and it's a little bit earlier. Sorry, Nacho, but I have got work tomorrow and I've got work for every single day next week. So it's back to the normal schedule. What's up, 305 Chunks? What's up, Lane? What's up, everybody? He was in the locker room and he got naked. I got naked and it was an insult to these fine Muslim men. And I was not feeling confident. What it do, Ron Hulk? Wait, what happened with Bryce Mitchell? He got naked. Justin says, still lifting weights, heavy weights. What's up, 3F5 Chunks? Good to see you. Any career retrospectives today? I don't know. We'll see how the day goes. There's a little bit of news to get through. I do want to re-tackle the, let me put on the chill music. I do want to re-tackle the best boxers in the UFC because I think the list has changed since last year. So we might be doing that today, Bilal's good eye. What's up, Matt? Drop down and give me 20 push-ups. No, brother, I've just gotten back from the gym. I'm cooked. I caught Guru stream of it yesterday. You saw Guru stream yesterday? Yeah, it was the same thing yesterday. Pushing weight, lifting heavy weights, mate. I'm good, glad you're early. I'm glad that I'm early too. If I disappear, it's because I'm at work. Well, I completely understand, Nacho. Like, I know it's going to be a pain in the ass today for some of the Australians. I totally understand. It's going to be good for the Americans. I totally understand. What's up, Shyla? Good to see you. Hopefully we have a good stream today. But yeah, don't stress, boys. It's not going to be like this. I'm not making money from YouTube. I still have to go to work. I just finished a job yesterday, and tomorrow's a little insurance patch, and the one of the jobs that I was ready to go to wasn't quite ready for me. So I figured, you know what? Let's not stress about it. Let's not call up any of the other plastering crews that I can go and do a day for. Let's do a stream for a day, and then I've got full week of work next week. It's 420 here. Beautiful. No, Christian Gray, you know how to celebrate 420. Get to work, slap that mud on the wall. I know, Mooty Wizard. How dare I not be at work? Best boxers, Barlow, Pena, JD, and Pena does not deserve to be on that list at all. It's so late, Dougie. I know, Shyla, I'm sorry, but you might be able to stay up for a little bit. Hang on a second, isn't it morning? And no, it's late now. You're going to sleep now. Yes, you're going to sleep now. Well, that's all right. I'll leave the stream up. I chucked a sickie. Couldn't be bothered with it today. Fair enough, Moody Wizard. I don't blame you, brother. Chat went crazy on Connor's bits in... I know, Kyle. I know, dude. I did a 3-hour stream the day before. James Lynch did a stream. Guru did a 3-hour stream. And then I did another 3-hour stream. Every single live chat the entire time was just talking about Conor McGregor lifting heavy weights. What's up, Larry? Good to see you, dude. How are you, man? Holloway will win. He ain't losing to a southpaw of all people. I mean, Mitch Holloway's lost to a southpaw of all people twice before, mate. So there is a chance that he is going to lose this one, dude. He might lose this one. What do you do for work? I just got in here. I'm a plasterer, or as the American call it, a drywaller, or as the Europeans call it, a spreader. Either way, I do the internal fascias of the walls of your house. I run my own business. I'm a one-man crew. That is what I do. I do what I do. D, don't come in here, D. D, don't come in here. You mad fool of a thing, D. Do people actually believe that there will be an event at the White House? I thought it was obviously just for publicity, but people keep talking about it. Well, Toad, Dana and, well, I'll tell you what, Toad. So, number one, Donald Trump wants there to be sporting events to celebrate UFC 250. Dana White is taking it very seriously. Ariel Helwani has said that he's gotten reports behind the scenes that the UFC is taking it very seriously. And also James Lynch knows people inside the UFC that say the UFC are taking this very seriously as well. Apparently, this is going to be their big gimmick event. And you know the UFC like to do a big gimmick event every year. This year was meant to be Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. That was meant to be their big marquee event. So yeah, it is turning out that there's a very real chance we're going to be at the White House next year. Connor and his custom wardrobe, taking the pics. D, don't come in here! D, don't come in here, D! What's up, Cheddarhead? Good to see you. Dougie working the morning shift. I'm coming. I'm taking over for the day. MMA YouTube, I'm taking over for the day. It's not just Dougie night shift tonight. I'm here for the day. Can we discuss how hilarious Dana telling Volkov he'll make sure he looks after him after the Cyril Gane fight and then gives him the Almeida? I know, dude. Yeah, he got screwed on that one. Yeah, Volkov got screwed on that one. I mean, who thought Gunn won that fight? I said to him, I know. Don't worry. We're going to sort it out. We'll look after you, kid. We'll look after you. No, you don't get your win bonus. And best I can do for you is Almeida. Back of the line. Dougie lays down sheets for a living. Absolutely. No, it's too smelly fingers. What we say is I fill in holes for a living. If someone punches a hole in the wall, you just call Dougie. Dougie will come and fill your hole, sweetheart. You're mad, right of a thing. They want it to happen. The UFC very much want the UFC White House event to happen, yep. Spreader means something completely different online. Oh, Yumjoy, I completely understand. I think I did a video the other day reacting to Sean Strickland running into the cage to punch on with an MMA fighter. And I said, Sean Strickland kicked off his thongs. Real men continue to wear thongs even when they're in a fist fight. And the Americans found that absolutely hilarious because in Australia, thongs are flip-flops. And in America, thongs are G-strings. So, yeah, one of those little cultural things, mate. Dougie lays down bloody pipe for a living. Not quite yet, Kyle. I'm still retired, mate. I'm out of the game. This is Zuckerberg versus Elon at the Roman Coliseum all over again. I don't think so, Toad, because you know, they actually had to try and make that fight happen out of nowhere. You know, they had to approach the Coliseum. They had to approach the Italian government. I don't think this is Zuck versus Elon all over again. I think because, like, Dana White and not only that, Toad, you have to remember that Donald Trump is getting absolutely destroyed in his base supporters right now because he's protecting a nonce. And, you know, why would you do that? So Donald Trump needs a win. Dana needs a win after being embarrassed about Tom Jones versus Tom Aspinall. They both need a win. I don't think this is Zuck versus Elon all over again. I think this is the Sphere all over again. What happened with Bryce Mitchell? He took his clothes off in a Muslim changing room, and apparently you don't take your clothes off in changing rooms. Don't know where you take your clothes off, but that really upset them. No way they secure the White House. Maybe White House adjacent. Why not, Lane? There's a huge 20-hectare lawn in the front of there's a massive lawn in front of the White House. They could easily put an octagon there. We fit an octagon inside of the Apex. Thoughts on Tony Ferguson losing a boxing match to an influencer? I've got it bookmarked. We're going to talk about it today. Bilal's good eye. I've got it bookmarked. Tony Ferguson is booked to fight on the Misfits boxing card alongside of Darren Till against Salt Pappy, I think his name. I don't know who this bloke is. I'm your main customer. Get me a bloody Monster, mate. Crack open a can of Monster, mate. Kenny and his hole in his body that he wants you to feel. Now you're on board with it, Nacho. Have you patched many former glory holes? I have patched a glory hole before, yeah, but they're not generally through plaster walls. They're generally in timber walls, but I have patched a glory hole before, believe it or not. Flip-flops? Yeah, flip-flops, yep. What's up, Ben? Good to see you, dude. Only real men fighting their thong. Absolutely right, mate. Would it have been funny if Misfits Minds called you to fill their holes for that prank? It would have been funny, Kyle, and I would have filled in their hole happily, mate. Nonces protect nonces do protect nonces, it seems like Justin Kennedy. Jon Jones versus Aspinall would be a marauding. We've also got some footage as well of Jon Jones saying that he will fight Tom Aspinall at the White House. I don't believe him, but someone caught Jon Jones in the airport for a quick interview. We're going to look at that one as well when we get there. What's up? Help me. What's up, Kyle? What's up, Friendless Norseman? Good to see everybody here. What's up, Shriveled Sack? How is everybody? Thank you all for coming back to the channel and giving it yet another chance. I really appreciate it. What's up, Dario Ldu or Dosto? Big support from Australia. Big support to you, to Australia, mate. If you like MMA, if you like the MMA Guru, if you like Bedtime MMA, even if you like James Lynch, even though he's insane. Not James Lynch, Lucas Tracy, even though he's insane, feel free to subscribe to the channel, man. Zuck is going to fight Elon. Apparently, there's no way that fight is ever going to happen. Why was Bryce Mitchell in a Muslim changing room in the first place? He was competing in Abu Dhabi during the pandemic. Justin Kennedy. Abu Dhabi, I don't know, spellings. No, you're all good, mate. You're all good. Why don't Muslims change in front of each other? I have no idea, mate. It's just a dick. I thought we were all made exactly the same. Salt Puppy has hands, don't sleep on him. Is that the guy that just sprinkles salt onto meat slowly, or is that Salt Daddy? I'm not sure. Darren Till versus Rockhold is going to be sick. Till will wreck it. That is going to be sick. That is going to be... That card actually might be worth watching the co-main in the main event. It's Tony time. Nudity is illegal in their religion, but it's a changing room. Where else do you get naked? Dougie patched the glory hole he made. Well, you know, had a rent inspection. Salt Pappy might send Tony to Valhalla. Finally, Tony Ferguson can be indoctrinated into the halls of Valhalla. He lives in Abu Dhabi for his next fight. Well, he's in Abu Dhabi. Oh, that's right. He's already fighting in Abu Dhabi. That makes sense. Yes, he's fighting Saeed Nurmagomedov. That's right. Darren Till is desperate to get that Jake Paul fight. Oh, God, yeah, but that's that's easy money for Darren Till. Even if Jake Paul finishes him because of how big Jake Paul is. Easy money for Darren Till. You were patching up your own work. You know the deal. Help me. You know what's going on. What's up, Kyle? Good to see you, man. Dustin Poirier doing all this emotional crying just to get knocked out. No, shriveled sack. Dustin Poirier is going to be getting the win, mate. What's up, Andrew Bechamonte? How are you, dude? What are your top 5 favorite walls? Oh, I love a good curved wall. I love a cathedral ceiling sort of a wall. Nothing like a niche. Nothing like a coffin niche ceiling as well. And then, of course, the LED bulkhead just looks so schmick, Benny. UFC Abu Dhabi 8 next week. It still isn't UFC 318 this week. Yeah, but he could be over there in Abu Dhabi acclimating to the time zone and the weather. What is your GOAT? Me, personally, I have GSP as the GOAT. I've got Mighty Mouse as my GOAT. Shama. Lucas is the used car salesman of MMA YouTube. He really is, dude, but at least he gets people through the door. You know, we need people like Lucas Tracy. At least he gets people through the door. Oh, that was years ago. That's Salt Bay, right. No, apparently it wasn't years ago. I got my timeline mixed up. Bryce Mitchell is over there right now. Justin is a fight next week with Whitaker. RDR is the main. That's it. That's the one next one. It's kind of funny because Bryce always defends Muslims and they attack him anyway. Well, I mean, if he got his dick out and just started flinging it about the place, you know, you never know. Bryce Mitchell was showing the Muslims his circumcision. That's what it seemed to. I said, look at this. Use discernment. That is 100% American meat. They didn't enjoy it. Hope you're doing all right. I'm doing good, man. Till will win easily, though. Luke Rockhold hasn't done boxing his whole career. Yeah. I've spilled water everywhere. Luke Rockhold is like a rangy kickboxer, jiu-jitsu artist at best. When it comes to just boxing, I believe in Darren Hill. I feel like people don't talk enough about how many fun matchups the GFL could have had. Help me. Yeah, that's true, dude, because it's so in the past now. But I was looking forward to the first couple of GFL cards because it would have been bloody hilarious to see those old heads go at it. I guess they wait till the group left so they aren't... you think like you go in there one at a time to get changed? I don't think so, Kyle. I don't know if that's how it works in there, man. Muslims are circumcised? How do you know, mate? How do you know? How do you know? Hill over Jake. We're going with Darren Till over Jake Paul. I like that, mate. What's up, Chrissy J? How are you? Good to see you. I'd love it if Till was the guy to beat Jake Paul. So would I. I mean, doesn't Jake Paul weigh in at 185? 200? What does Jake Paul weigh in at? We are going to sleep Max Holloway. Damn right, Justin Kennedy. Dougie, what kind of plaster tastes the best? Oh, absolutely the fire check stuff. That's got a real nice salt in it to us. I love them sweet sugar walls, says Two Smelly Fingers. I couldn't imagine spending more than a week in Abu Dhabi. I mean, if you're going to be, losing half of your fight purse, you might want to spend 2 or 3 weeks there just to get acclimated, Justin Kennedy. Smart of Bryce getting there a couple of weeks early to get over the jet lag. It is, dude. I'm happy that Bryce is taking it seriously. Also, apparently the heat is a bit of a problem as well, so I'm happy Bryce is taking it really seriously. I didn't know that fight night card was soon. There you go. It's 2 weeks away. And I completely forgot about it as well, Justin Kennedy. So there you go. If Tony wasn't completely washed, he could have beat Salt Pappy. If Tony wasn't completely washed, but it's not 2012 anymore, is it? Max Holloway does look very bulky now. He does. Even Dustin Poirier said he's surprised to see just how thick Max Holloway is now. Imagine if he was doing an O'Connor impression to them. I'm just lifting weights, eh? I'm lifting some weights. We will have our diamond butt plugs in for Dustin Dustin this week. We'll not have our diamond butt plugs in, but we are going to be rooting for Dustin Poirier. I'm already getting emotional listening to the pre-fight presses. I don't like it. What's up, C-Kid? How are you, dude? Word up, Dougie. Word up to you, dude. Bryce was showing off how much weight he could lift like Conor McGregor. Look at this. You got to use dessert. That's at least 2.5 pounds. Look at that. That's lifting for the Lord. Rockhold should have learnt from his failed BKFC experiment that he is not a good boxer. Not only that, but he's a real jiu-jitsu guy at heart and a rangy kickboxer. Like, Rockhold isn't a warrior. Poirier over Max, but still I'm picking Max. Alright, fair enough, dude. I'm going to be picking Poirier. This is the way the new Crusades, we lead by example. We've got to show them the sharpened pencil, says Two Smelly Fingers as he looks down at his sharpened pencil. By the way, loving the vertical stream the whole community does. Thanks, bro. Sorry, Ben, but it is good for the... I don't know if you're being sarcastic, Ben. Some people hate the vertical stream, but it's good for the channel growth, mate. So I try and do flat lays, but I gotta mix them in, you know what I mean? He heard them talking about McGregor and showed them that he could do more. 2.5 pounds? That ain't nothing. I lift 3 pounds just in the morning. How did you know? We know, mate. Tony Ferguson will be the salt mummy for the salt puppy. Maybe he's got to get his head fucking pushed in, that's for sure. I thought that card was for October for some reason because there's usually an Abu Dhabi card in October, so they've screwed up our calendar. The promotion that has been a bit shit, to be honest, I haven't seen it apart from on... This promotion has been a bit shit, to be honest, not seen it apart from on the... You mean for the Abu Dhabi card coming up, Kyle? Yeah, because the UFC is copy and paste, so they do one thing at a time. Jake fights at 200 pounds, I think. I think Darren Till could still piece up Jake Paul. I feel like Dustin is going to have the power advantage over Max Holloway. So do I, Two Smelly Fingers. Power advantage, experience at the weight. He's going to be a lot more relaxed, I think, because Max Holloway can't go down and with another loss right now. Otherwise, he is sort of stuck in purgatory. Shyla says, I'm rooting for Holloway. Something about Poirier I don't like. He does that. You either love Dustin Poirier because he wears his heart on his sleeve, or some people tend to find him to be a whiny little bitch, you know? So it's one of those two little things. They think he's either too emotional, but I like that he wears his heart on his sleeve. You know, as an emotional man myself, I get what Dustin Poirier is talking about. I'm rooting for Max Holloway. Something about Poirier. I just read that one. I'm an idiot. I'm rooting for the diamond, but I'm putting my money on Max Holloway. Fair enough, C-Kid. Fair enough. Max looks like a heavy user right now. Anyone could beat him. He looks like a crackhead right now. Yeah, that's how Max looks when he's cutting weight. Baby. People doubting Dustin like he didn't almost beat Islam and Khabib. I know. They're like, Dustin's washed. I'm like, bro, Dustin just had the fight of his night. What are we talking about? How is he washed? Max probably is going to get on whatever BJ Penn is using to see the clones. That ain't my mom's ass. Look at that ass. I know my mom's ass. That ain't my mom's ass. You're right, brother. That ain't how your mom's ass used to look. Max probably got on whatever BJ. Max pulling a upset and sleeping Dustin like he did Justin. No, OTM. I don't want to believe it. What's up, Light MMA? How are you, you little bloody whippersnapper? How you going, man? Light MMA, guys. He is working a fucking bag. He's going to be a UFC fighter in the next 5 years. UFC 321 is also UFC in Abu Dhabi. UFC 321 is also in Abu Dhabi, apparently. That's right. That's the one at the end of October, Nacho. Is that 5G COVID illness that got Max and BJ? It's that 5G COVID illness that got Max and BJ thinking that there's clones around every corner. I watched James a couple of hours ago. He said it's likely Armin will fight Justin and that Alex versus Ankalaev is finalized. Heavyweight mentioned the UFC has all main booked through till the end of the year. However, I mentioned that the UFC has all the main events booked through to the end of the year. I can believe that, Ron Hulk. The UFC do usually plan ahead a lot. They just don't tell us until 2 months out. So yeah, according to James Lynch as well, they also have the Fight Night card down in Perth locked up as well, and it's not going to be Dan Hooker in the main event, which I do not like at all, mate. If Bryce thinks the Earth is flat, then did he take the train to Abu Dhabi? No, he thinks that planes go across the plane of the Earth. Funnily enough, he doesn't think that they go around. He thinks that they go through it. What the hell is this title? Virtually MMA? I know. know, dude. We're going to play the story eventually when the chat slows down a little bit. We're going to play it to the entire chat. Salt Pappy fights near 180. I believe this is going to be another Tony Ferguson execution. Oh, God, I hope this fight doesn't happen at 180 pounds. Please, God, no. Bryce took a boat. See, the horizon hasn't moved once the entire time. You got to use discernment. For me, Dustin isn't emotional enough. Fair enough, Ben. He definitely has a face you want to punch, but he's a G no matter what. Who, Dustin Poirier? I don't think Dustin has a face you'd want to punch. Max Holloway is in a different country, but I thought he is in a Canadian country. No, they're both in America right now. Anthony Smith on a safari trip, realizing that Douglas's sub count is growing. Impression. You know, on paper, I'm the better analyst. What am I going to do? Open up the doors. I want to throw myself in front of a lion and curl into a ball. Sir, the lion will not kill you if you're in the fetal position. You have to look like a threat. I am a threat. On paper, I'm not defending intelligently. Sir, the lion will not attack if you just lie there in a ball. That was so good, 305 chunks. I think Max will look... That was so good, 305 chunks. On paper, I'm the better analyst. How is Dougie doing this? Open up the cage door. Sir, you have to attack the lion, not just curl up in a ball. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think Max will look much better in this fight with Dustin, and I think he will probably win. Fair, dude, Max absolutely looks a lot better. I can't see Dustin losing his last fight. I don't lose 2 in a row, dude. I don't lose 2 in a row. What's up, Eric? Good to see you, man. Apparently the PFL fighter who got shot actually got shot with rubber bullets. What a horrible hitman. Who tries to do a job with rubber bullets? That's embarrassing. I hated Dustin P-Head for years, but his saltiness won me over the last couple of years. Oh, nice one, Nacho. I'm happy you're on Team Dustin, dude. Dustin was beating Islam until Islam broke his nose with a headbutt. True, help me. True, people forget, man. Islam Makhachev only beat Dustin by cheating. That's just rage bait. Calm down, everybody. Purely boxing, Jake Paul versus Alex Pereira is a 50-50. Purely boxing? No, I think Alex Pereira can still manage the distance pretty well, just with his jab and his head movement. Who do you think will win, Sharma or Ankalaev? Keep in mind my name. I don't care, Sharma edits. Ankalaev might actually knock out Alex Pereira this time. What the hell is that title? I know, virtually. We're going to get to it. I've always liked the saltiness of Dustin. So do I. How about that, Dan? Dude, that fight with Dan Hooker was so close. We just rewatched it on the stream the other day. It could have gone to Dan Hooker. That third round was the make or break round, and Dustin's just assuming that he won. You keep trying, kid. What are you going to do? Fight Gaethje next? Yeah, you keep trying, kid. Remember, this is my house. Paul is trash. Paul is not trash. Did you hear that Yoel Romero got attacked with a machete? I did hear about that today as well. I know. What is going on in the MMA world? I don't know if I want to keep being an MMA YouTuber. I might get attacked in the street. I'm definitely going to get attacked in the street one day. Max will be back broken. Dustin has a Max will get back broken Dustin and his number and will be more conservative with his gas tank. Max will get buck broken. Dustin has his number and will be more conservative with his gas tank. I agree, Friendless Norseman. I think Dustin knows how to beat up Max Holloway by now. Train on the waterboat on the tracks. It was a samurai sword. There we go. Bryce Mitchell got graped in that bathroom. Now, there was a cold breeze in that bathroom. I was not feeling confident. Dustin was an absolute wanker to Hooker after the fight. Dan was basically dead on the floor, and he's standing over him going, "You don't count your chickens, do you now? This is my house. I don't lose this fight." I know. That's what I love about Dustin Poirier, the emotion that comes out of him. The death of boxing kills my soul. I cornered a flyweight, Brian Jones, for years. The ethics and the business killed it, and MMA, of course. See, kid, do you not think that boxing is on a bit of a revival with what the Saudis are doing, mate? How are we, Eric? Good to see you, mate. I hope you're well, dude. Dan Hooker is my favorite fighter. Nice one, Andrew. I like Dan Hooker a lot, too, dude. Max Holloway will get finishes. Ilya took his chin, and now it's time for Tony Ferguson's wins. And now it's time for a Tony Ferguson streak. I don't think it's that bad, Friendless Norseman. Alexander Volkanovski managed to get his chin to come back, so we're just going to have to wait and see, brother. We're going to have to find out that. Max gave Ilya his hardest fight to date. Yeah, I would say so. You could cling to the Jai Herbert moment, but yeah, I would say so. What are you doing this early? I just got out of work. I don't have work today, Eric, so I'm streaming for a little bit. Well, not for a little bit, for maybe 3 hours. Tony versus Salt Pappy will be at 160 pounds. Thank God. Thank God, Friendless Norseman. Awesome, dude. Thank God. Ferguson and streak shouldn't be mentioned in the same sentence unless it's... No, because Ferguson has got two of the greatest streaks in UFC history. One of the greatest winning streaks through the hardest division ever during its peak, and one of the greatest losing streaks through the hardest division ever during its fall-off. Dustin as well, I changed my mind. Based Andrew. Dan said that he was going to smash Dustin's face in, and people don't like Dustin for talking shit to Dan after smashing his face in. Double standards, to be honest. I think it's more the fact that, like, it was such a war, and Dustin was acting like he had easily won that fight when it was a very close fight. Did you hear about all the beefs? What are the beefs, Andrew? Let me know, dude. Jake Matthews will catch you slipping in a dark alley. He probably will. Mate, someone from CKB is going to catch... One of the toughers is going to catch me down a dark alleyway. Hey, bro, did you say that we were dog shit, bro? Oh, fuck, it's a tougher, brother. Run away. Hey, get back here, bro. Get back here, bro. Bro. Pereira would destroy Jake Paul in boxing? I think so, yeah. But Toad, aka MMA Joey, doesn't like Alex Pereira, so, you know, it is what it is. But we still love and appreciate MMA Joey Toad being in here. If Urseg loses his next fight in Perth, he will need to be monitored closely for at least a month. If Urseg loses his next fight in Perth, he will need to be monitored closely for at least a month. Oh, I get it now. Yeah, I know, dude. Going on a 4-fight stint in his hometown after losing that fight as well. Don't let him into a Bunnings, is all I'm saying. Don't let Urseg around anywhere that sells ropes. Fuji Bully Moya. Okay, cool. I don't get the title. What happened? Bryce Mitchell told a story on Twitter. We're going to play it on today's stream dig when we get to it. Essentially, he got changed in a Muslim changing room, and you shouldn't be getting changed in a changing room. Bryce Mitchell nearly got assaulted. How high do you think Carlos Prate's ceiling is? I think we've found it, Light MMA. I think we've found Carlos Prate's ceiling. Around about 7th or 5th. Gatekeeper. Phony Turtison. No, Tony Ferguson was one of the best, man. I wish they would have a fighting league where all the fighters are dirty. They're just fighting for entertainment, and we don't care how juiced up they are. They do, Kyle. It's called the BKFC. Go and watch it. It's phenomenal. They're all on steroids. The doctors don't care about cuts or stoppages or anybody's health. The ring girls are hotter. It's fucking amazing, Kyle. Go and watch it. You can even work inside the clinch. Alex didn't get his chin back. Only clean shot Diego landed Sandy's ass to the canvas. Yeah, but it didn't knock him out. Did it help me? Like Alexander Volkanovski always got his chin touched, but it didn't sleep him. Also, Alex Poatan Pereira, got slept by Israel Adesanya. He still has his chin when he moved up to light heavyweight. So just because someone's been chinned once doesn't mean they're definitely losing their chin. They've definitely been people that have gotten their chin back. You know what I mean? Dustin Poirier got slept bad by Gaethje, yet was still able to withstand an entire war with Islam Makhachev. You know what I mean? Get a bloody job, mate. I don't want to get a job, mate. I want to be a YouTuber. People forget, man, Josh Emmett somehow made it to a decision against Abdullah. Yeah, Justin Kennedy, but there was literally a 10-7 round in that fight and a 10-8 round in that fight. Like, Ilya Tapturo beat the hell out of Josh Emmett. Dougie Volk never had a good chin. If you have a granite chin and it gets cracked, it's game over. I disagree, Friendless Norseman. Again, we've seen it before from other fighters, man. I just gave you some examples, brother. People forget, man, Bryce did better than Charles Oliveira. Bryce did do better than Charles Oliveira. People forget, man, Josh Emmett is nearly impossible to finish. I know his wife is exhausted. Don't come to the gym tomorrow. No, it's Steve Earth. Don't come to the gym tomorrow. Don't come to the gym tomorrow. You should be taking your clothes off near Muslims. We've seen their women. Alright, dude. Calm the hell down. Bloody hell, mate. If Jake Paul can get past the jab, he would destroy Pereira in the pocket. Yeah, but you're talking about getting past one of the best jabs in combat sport, Toad. And Jake Paul has sort of proven that he is not an elite level boxer. Alex Pereira just getting past that jab. That jab has won him 2 Glory kickboxing titles and 2 UFC titles. You know what I mean? How's it going, mate? It's going good, Jim. How are you, brother? Good to see you, dude. Sorry about the early stream, but it is what it is, brother. I just wanted to wrestle with Bryce. They just wanted to wrestle with Bryce, and it was socially awkward. Nice fresh shower. Oh, you want to wrestle, brother? What? No. No Chill versus Hank Giuliano saying things to me, and I'll be angry and round them up when I clean up to say things. Ron knows. Don't worry about silly online drama, mate. It is literally pointless. It's online drama. Don't worry about it, Andrew. Prates is going to be top 5. Ian Gary is just super tricky to fight when he's running 95% of the time. Yeah, help me, but it's welterweight. Like, welterweight is the premier division of MMA right now. So everyone in the top 5 is going to have that tricky thing. You know what I mean? Like, Sean Brady is going to have that tricky wrestling. JDM's going to have that tricky boxing. Even Kamaru Usman has got that tricky veteran skill. I don't think Prates has got this. I think Prates is very good, and I think when you consider the fact that welterweight is the most stacked division in the world, being in the top 5, 7, being between 10 and 7 in the 10 and 5 in the UFC's welterweight division means you're a damn good fighter. You're just not the elite of the elite, as Joe Rogan says. You know what I mean? Help me. Poatad is going to get destroyed by the arse and balls of Magomed Ankalaev. True, Justin Kennedy. Is prime Conor McGregor the best striker ever? And does he beat Tony Ferguson? No, Tony Ferguson takes him down and destroys him in the guard. Prime Tony Ferguson, that is. And is prime Conor McGregor the best striker ever? No, absolutely not. The best striker ever in the UFC, ever of all time. That's a very good question, and very much worth a tier list discussing it. The best striker in the UFC ever of all time. I know the old heads are going to say Anderson Silva, but Anderson Silva wasn't going in there with people of his elite level of striking. Whereas when Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya were having their battles against each other, that was the highest level of striking possible. So I kind of want to say it's between Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya. Striking for striking. Yeah. There's the Anderson Silva old heads right there. There's one now. He's just finished his work call when he heard Anderson Silva's name. Where was I up to? God knows. All right, here we go. Who is the best chin in MMA now? My money is on Cheeto or Vittori. I reckon Vittori's probably got the best chin in MMA right now. Hey, help me. JVD taking on with Bodak. I don't get involved in pissy online arguments, Andrew. Dougie, would you interview fighters that aren't in the UFC? Not really, Kyle. Not really. Maybe for members, but I don't know, Kyle. Probably not, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because no one's going to click on those videos, so I think my videos would probably get more clicks than if I wasted a video interviewing a fighter that isn't in the UFC. Do you know what I mean? So here's an example, Kyle, right? I can make a video talking about Max Holloway being salty about losing to Ilia Topuria. That's going to get about 500 clicks, maybe get 1,000 clicks, between 500 and 100 clicks. No Chill MMA does a very, very good interview with Smiling Sam Alvey, the current heavyweight champion of karate combat. I think it gets about 200 views. So it's just not worth it, do you know what I mean? And then if I do it live, I can't interact with you guys, and you guys are just listening to an MMA fighter talk that you could probably do on any live stream. So, no, I don't think I would, Kyle. Bryce was taking his clothes off near Muslims without a beard. He definitely needs to go and get tested. I know what a genius Bryce Mitchell is. You know, that boxer was definitely a man, absolutely. And now I'm going to go walk around these Muslim bathrooms naked with a clean-shaved face. Hank versus Musical, what's going on there? They tried to take Bryce to the hot tub, but brother, you want to get naked? Come in here, brother. MVP versus Prates would go so hard. That would be a good fight. That would be a damn good fight, help me. I like that a lot. Thoughts on Derek Lewis's wife ducking the fight? I don't think she did. And quite frankly, Simply Kudos, how are you, brother? I don't think he had a choice. I don't think she had a choice. Where's my wife's fine ass at? You sign up to Dan Hooker's Backyard Fight League and show us your haka. You know what, Jim? I'd be down for a one fight in Dan Hooker's Backyard Fight League. That would take me back to my high school days. I love that. I love that idea, Jim. I love that. I hope you don't have any MMA holes or gaming gang. Don't know what you mean, Andrew. Don't know what you mean. If Ant keeps winning, he should go up to heavyweight. Yeah, why not? Why not, Dig? I think rangy Ankalaev's kickboxing would do quite well against someone like Cyril Gane. I think he'd match up well there. Anderson Silva is the best striker ever. There we go. Where is Alex these days? Which Alex, mate? Alexander Volkanovski or Alex Pereira? Which one, dude? Francis is up there. Let's be honest, he didn't become a champion. Let's be honest, he didn't become champion without grappling. That's what I was thinking, Kyle, but the question is, when you talk about who's the best striker in the UFC ever, are you talking about the skill of striking, how pretty the striking looks, or how effective the striking is? Because yes, you could say that Francis Ngannou is one of the best strikers in the UFC ever, purely on effectiveness. Like when Francis hits you, you die. That's very effective striking. Can't say Izzy when Sean... that's true, Eric. Good point. So maybe Alex Pereira is the best striker in the UFC ever. Darren Till is the best UFC striker ever. No, OTM. Absolutely not. And Adesanya's horrible boxing defense overall leaves his chin up, so a slightly overrated striker. That's a fair take, Light. Yeah, that's a fair take. What's up, Larry? Ooh, I've missed Larry. I want to hear Larry's thoughts on this, because I know Larry's going to bring up a good point. I had a tier list idea now. I'm kind of thinking we might have already done it. But if not, mythical fighter tier. We've never done the mythical fighter tier list, Larry. That's a good one. Yeah, Dustin has a massively punchable face. Stop it, Chris. We love Dustin Poirier. Can't be the best striker if Gastelum is rocking you and Imavov is knocking you out. That's a good point. Help me. The Gastelum fight, I mean, that is peak Izzy, and little fat Gastelum is piecing him up. True, dude. I missed the Huck tour, girl. Why, Shiv? Why? All she said was Huck tour, you know? Poor Bryce, they're just bullies. They might just be bullies. What's up? I'm extremely Asian. How are you, dude? Good to see you, man. Purely striking, it might actually be O'Malley, as retarded as it sounds, but unfortunately the attributes that make him a great striker make him a horrible grappler that gets easily out-muscled. O'Malley could be up there. He's very stay at range, teep, and then try and catch you with his counter. Very similar to Conor McGregor's. O'Malley's worth a look in at the conversation, for sure. People swear they watch MMA promotions besides the UFC, but the numbers say otherwise. That's what it is, Jim. That's what it is, dude. Like, everyone whinges about the UFC, but no one actually goes and supports other MMA promotions. Like, the PFL has videos on their YouTube channel of free fights. Some of them have 200, 300 views. I'm not kidding. Like, the PFL's YouTube numbers are embarrassing. They're embarrassing. So yeah, as much as people whinge and bitch about the UFC, they don't do anything to try and help it. I try and help it by talking about the BKFC as often as I can, because I don't believe in just bitching about things without a solution. Don't worry, Dougie. I'm going to let you interview me once I make it to the UFC. Light, I'd be happy to have you on, mate. And a valued member of the community. Pound for pound, Vittori is the best chin because he's a middleweight just eating those bombs. Yeah, I think Vittori might have the best chin in the UFC now. Yair Rodriguez versus Diego Lopez. Who wins? I'm going with Diego Lopez. Sergi Dia. I'm going with Diego Lopez. I want to go to Dan Hooker's Fight League. So do I. It looks like it'll be goddamn fun, right? Lewis is a smart man. He needs to say that after the Ronda DC thing went viral. Lewis is a smart man. He needed to say that after the... Oh, yeah. Dude, Derek Lewis knows the game, Chrissy. Derek Lewis absolutely knows the game, man. It makes something that'll go viral, and that way your name stays in the headlines for another few days. He's a very clever man, man. Wonderboy Yair Volk to Puria. Wonderboy Yair Volk to Puria. That's a good list, Miguel. That's a good list. That's a good list. Whoever said Francis is anywhere near the best striker was dropped as a child. Well, again, Justin Kennedy, do you go by the look of the striking or do you go by the effectiveness of the striking? Alex is repeating history and moving up weight classes after getting beaten again. Tom is going to pull a gun versus Jones on him, though. Oh, easily, Jim. Like, that's the thing. Like, if Alex Pereira goes up, Tom Aspinall might accommodate him in the striking for the first round just for fun, but the moment Tom Aspinall wants it to be over, he'll just blast a takedown. Darren Till sucks. Darren Till does indeed suck. What happened to Volk these days? He's just waiting for his next fight night card, which is going to be in Abu Dhabi. So Volk's just back in training camp, staying quiet, keep on cooking. Alex Pereira has terrible boxing defense as well. Yeah, but the rangy kickboxers don't like short, tight boxers, true. I'm extremely Asian. Who do you think is the best striker ever? Juliana Pena is the greatest UFC striker of all time. Yeah, she's great. Pereira isn't top 10. He got KO'd stiff by a bum that lost to Pereira. What a circular argument, Toad. Pereira isn't a top 10. He got KO'd stiff by a bum that lost to Pereira. What a circular argument. And Derek smote the foe till the octagon shook, and he lifted his voice, saying, "Where's my wife's fine ass at?" And lo, it jiggled upon the firmament, a sign unto the Lord that thickness was about to be dumped into it. What's up, Lorendo? How are you, dude? MVP is my guy, but I think Prates will win that match. It's an interesting match, man. If Prates doesn't like the ranginess of Ian Gary, he's not going to like the ranginess of MVP. That's for sure, man. Yeah, but the PFL is short. True, Justin Kennedy. Very true. Watch BKFC. Izzy's wife is 40 in human years. What a wag. Look at her wag her tail. Look at Izzy's wife wag her tail. Say what up to the puppy. Stop talking dirty to me. I watch one a good bit, but mainly the Muay Thai. Their MMA is mid. Yeah, their Muay Thai is fucking phenomenal. Light. The problem I have with one is it's going to be bankrupt very soon, so it's like watching a dead promotion. But they do have fun fights for the time being. That is true. Do you think the Conor that fought Eddie Alvarez could beat Khabib? No. Keep in mind, Prime Conor had great takedown defense, and the Conor that fought Khabib was after the Floyd fight. No, I agree, but I still think that prime for prime, Khabib does eventually take him down as the fight goes on. Yeah. The LBFL isn't doing too bad. What is the LBFL? The lazy bastard fight. What is the LBFL 305 chunks? Dan Hooker should take over Street Beefs. No, let's have an Australian Street Beefs. We'll have Australian Street Beefs and American Street Beefs. We can all have backyard punch-ons. Anybody else feel like Vittori versus Allen has a split decision written all over it? Absolutely, Larry. Two idiots. Two people with thick skulls, two people with no technique, just slobber knockering at each other and the judges deciding who actually landed the heavier shots. Absolutely, Larry. Absolutely. I'm doing good, just chilling and doing more videos on my channel. Nice one, Andrew. Smart one, dude. Good to see. Did you hear that Movzar is apparently out against Pico? He's out of the booked fight, but apparently they're looking to get it rebooked on a later card below. That's what I heard anyway. Why? Is Movzar out? Derek Lewis got that KO script that he was told to by... Derek Lewis is just fucking around. Derek Lewis is just talking shit. Obviously, the UFC didn't hand him his script. The MMA community is full of leftists, so they say they watch other promotions like they say they watch woke movie. The MMA community is full of leftists. They say they watch the other promotions like they say they watch woke. Oh, like how the leftists are like, we want to see representation in every movie. The new Snow White movie has absolutely bombed. Nobody rocked up to the cinemas to watch it. Yeah. MMA community is the same. Screw the UFC. We want to watch something else. No? No clicks? No one's going to click on it? Okay. Francis could have continued, and Francis could have still continued, and Francis versus Tom would have been something to watch. I would have loved to have seen Francis versus Tom. Punching power versus a bloke that keeps his chin in the air. Very 50-50 fight. Maybe the UFC and Volk want Movzar on the Perth card. They don't. The Perth card is a fight night card. They want Volk versus... they don't want Volk versus Movzar. They do not want Volk versus Movzar. They don't like Movzar Evloev. They don't like how many cancellations he had, whether they're his fault or not, tied with the fact that he has absolutely no finishes. The UFC absolutely do not want Movzar Evloev versus Alexander Volkanovski. MVP versus Prates would be a pure striking battle, and I don't know if Prates can deal with MVP's length, timing, distance, and management. I agree, Nacho. Like, Ian Gary showed about 20% of what MVP is going to show you when it comes to all of those attributes, and Prates didn't do well with it, so I don't think he's going to do better against MVP. I think I'm picking MVP to beat Prates, actually. While Jones is spinning, Francis puts his lights out, looks very pretty, doesn't make a good striker, beating the other guy. That's what I mean, Kyle, like, who's the best striker? Well, are we talking about perfect technique, or are we talking about actually sleeping somebody? Like Francis Ngannou has exceedingly effective striking, even if it is not pretty. Like Dricus du Plessis. You can't say Dricus du Plessis is a bad striker after beating striking rounds against Sean Strickland and Israel Adesanya. Yet, what Dricus du Plessis does is not exactly pretty striking, is it? It's very Juliana Pena-esque. There you go, Nacho. If we're going by the effectiveness, then Derek Lewis is the best striker in UFC history. That's a retarded conversation. And Random Guy says, what up, cunt? What's up, Random Guy? How are you, dude? Why would Volk be waiting for a fight night? I know, it doesn't make sense, does it? If the UFC opened a kickboxing Muay Thai side promotion and all the good strikers moved over, would people still tune into regular UFC to watch the cuddling? Probably not, Jim. I don't know, dude, because with the cuddling comes some pretty awesome ground and pound and jiu-jitsu. Like, that's the good thing about MMA. Like, jiu-jitsu fans can watch MMA, and Muay Thai fans can watch MMA, because you're still going to get those sick combinations. I think by the pure fact that if you're a fan of Muay Thai like I am, or a fan of bare knuckle boxing like I am, you're going to see short boxing combinations and Muay Thai elbows thrown into MMA. So I'm always going to be watching MMA. Do you know what I mean, dude? And then the hugger fans, the guys that love hugging, you know, the gays, they love jiu-jitsu and they love American wrestling. And you're still going to see a bit of that in MMA as well. So it encapsulates all fan bases. You know what I mean, mate? Larry, I could see Alan pull. I should clip that. You can clip whatever you like, Andrew. That's all good, mate. Larry, I can see Alan pulling a sub out. Oh, Brendan Allen's subbing Vittori. That could happen. I do watch BKFC. Good, mate. Derek's last fight ended in quick, in my opinion. Teixeira could have continued. Yeah, I get that. I get why, but like the fight could have continued because Salison Teixeira cheated to get back into that position. If you went no, don't grab the cage, and then returned him back to that position, that's him lying down on the mat with his stomach against the cage, stomach against the mat, and Derek Lewis beating him into the side of the head. So it was either late or early, but either way he cheated, right? Prates struggles with guys when he is blitzed, so I don't think he'll do very good against MPP. I don't think he'll do good against MVP either. Prime Anderson Silva is the best striker in the UFC, but he wasn't in there against guys of equal striking ability, where we've seen people like Alex Pereira and Sean O'Malley be in there against guys of equal striking ability. Do you know what I mean? Like, Anderson was just so far ahead of the game at his time, it kind of makes it unfair. Everyone click at the 3 dots and then click like, boys, click like. Dougie, how much can you teabag? More than Conor McGregor. What's cracking, Dougie? I've been blasting Spanian all day. Also, props to the 8 a.m. US time. Welcome to the Americans, guys. I'm happy that I'm doing it at a decent time for you guys. I've been blasting Spanian all day. I've been blasting Spanian? What do you mean by Spanian? You've been blasting Ilya Tapuria's walkout music around the house all day? Listen, buddy. Listen, buddy. Did you see the newest episode of The Ultimate Fighter? The Ultimate Fighter, spelled with a Y. No, not yet. Hasn't been uploaded to that website I use yet below. I'll probably upload it by tonight, dude. Ilya is now in the conversation for the best strikers ever. I can understand why. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, he just outboxed one of the best boxers ever. Snow White not casting dwarves. People who have way harder time getting jobs in Hollywood and who are less represented than the rainbow people they replace them with is the all-time self-own. I know, Larry, don't you love the leftists just completely self-owning each other? What a bunch of morons. DDP is the best striker, pound for pound? No, pound for pound, no. The longer they delay it, the more of a chance Movzar has over Volk. Gene Silver might be the one chance to save the division. I agree, Toad. I agree. I think they're just going to keep running Movzar until he starts getting finishes or until he loses to somebody or gets injured. I think they're just trying to run the clock out on Movzar like they did with Bilal and Marab. But the problem with Movzar, of course, is that he's so much younger than Bilal. So it does make it very hard for the UFC. Movzar probably does. Sexy time to Gene Silver. Probably takes him down and wrestles him. Yay, half-naked vertical stream. What's up, Sus Pasha? How did you know I didn't have any pants on? Bryce getting ready to dominate the bantamweight division. I don't think he will, Johnny. I think he's too... I don't think he's got enough muscle to dominate bantamweight. No, I've been ogging all day. You've been ogging all day. I don't know what you've been up to, Blue Line, but it sounds disgusting. I don't mind the late night streams. I know, I don't mind doing them either, but it just, you know, some people prefer them this way, you know what I mean? Do you think the gender bender, the last dog fiddler, was juicing during the Sean fight? Man had crazy boobs. It's possible. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously, like, used steroids before, so it's possible, Sharma, yeah. You guys really think Allen has a realistic shot at subbing the Italian Dream? Have we ever seen anybody out wrestle him? That's true, Marvin Vittori can just get back up. What do you think you're doing, you bloody legendary lad? What's up, Weston? How are you, dude? No work today. I've got one of those middle of the day I finished a job yesterday. I've got a one-dayer tomorrow. It wasn't ready for me today. I've got a full week of work next week. This is just the way my calendar panned out this week. Here I am doing a middle of the day live stream, dude. Striking is all about knocking somebody out. That's the whole point. Someone's striking score shouldn't be in MMA. Now that the chat has slowed down, we can finally get into some serious topics and we can do a tier list. We can look at the news. Now we can get into a classic Dougie stream. Right. What is the best striking? ST Reich ing. I don't think when you do the ing it has an E at the end. Striking. That's not right. Striking. That doesn't look right either. Whatever. One of the two. Doesn't matter. Power or execution. Is execution the right word? Striking. No E. Thank you, Nacho. Striking. Is execution the right word? Power or... Not execution. What's the word I'm looking for? Not style. Technique. Technique. Let's go with that. All right. What is the best for striking? Is it power or technique? What makes the best striker? The guy with the most power or the guy with the best technique? Accuracy, technique. Use it as a synonym. You know what I mean? What about... Oh, no. Let me make sure I read everybody. So, Yumjoy, so you're saying striking is all about knocking somebody out. We did that one. We're all going to miss Dustin. Wish he had one undisputed championship under his record. I agree. I agree, Yandov. I completely agree, dude. I love Dustin Poirier. I'm going to miss him terribly. I already hate that we're having these conversations at the pre-fight press conferences looking back at his career. I miss him already. I'm taking Dustin, by the way, mate. What about when Junior Tuffer had that standing ninja choke fully locked in and just let go because he was too scared to commit to the sub? Truly retarded levels of fight IQ. Someone dropped the Tough Episode website link in the Discord. No one wants to get ESPN. OTM, I'll do it after the stream, brother. I was watching it last night. I'll do it after the stream, brother. Brendan Allen 3.0 does whatever he wants to Marvin Vittori. Brendan Allen is an idiot. Hey, fellas, what's up, Paul? No work today for me, so we're streaming. Brendan Allen should win. I do remember Brendan Allen is a sped. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, does Brendan Allen have the skills to win? Yes. Does Brendan Allen have the mental intelligence to win? Absolutely not. He's a sped. What's up, Lil Will? How are you, dude? I'm good. Where am I up to? I'm good, mate. Gonna listen to this. Get hammered, skinny dip in the river like I'm Conor McGregor. Weston is living the absolute best life. Weston is living his absolute best life, mate. I can't wait for the weather to get a little bit warmer so I too can skinny dip in the water behind my house. My neighbors be damned. I'll wait till the sun goes down. Power, precision, timing, speed, and technique. Power, technique, roids. Precision beats power and timing beats speed. Probably depends on the weight class, but I want technique. All right, so now we've decided that technique by 74% is what makes the best striking. So Francis Ngannou and DDP are not the best strikers in the UFC. Now you need to start looking at the Anderson Silvas, the Sean O'Malley's, the Alex Pereiras. These are the Ilya Tapurias. These are what makes some of the best strikers in the UFC. We might start a tier list. What gang were you in? I'm from Melbourne, mate. We don't have gangs here. The Dandenong boys. Dustin couldn't have had the belt if he had just moved back down to fight Max when he was champ. Dustin could have had the belt if he just moved back down to fight Max when he was the champ. Dustin could have had the belt. Oh, no, I don't know, dude, because I don't know if his power would have carried over cutting back down to 145. You know what I mean? Is this true? It is, little Will. It is true. People forget, man. We've seen Francis swing in the air. Then he started becoming a wrestler. That's what I mean. Like, if we're saying technique is what it is, and 74% of you are saying technique is what it is, Francis Ngannou is deleted from that. It should be effectiveness versus toolbox. And yet here we have landed, Kyle. Do you think Pantoja should get more recognition and could eventually become one of the greatest pound for pounds in the world? No, I don't think he could. Oh, Pantoja could have... Yeah, Pantoja, not Alex Pereira. Yes, 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 and yes. Yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. Yandov, yes, he should get more recognition. Although he's already considered one of the top 5 best pound for pound fighters in the world, so that's already pretty good recognition. But yeah, he could absolutely get a little bit more. Westy, when are you going to do your first live stream, says Andrew. Like, Francis still has good technique, just not as many moves. No, I agree, Kyle, but there's other people that have a deeper toolbox and more technique, right? If Brendan Allen had the fight IQ, he would have beaten Evamov and Fluffy. Very true, Toad. Francis Ngannou technique is simply the power. True, Lorendo. Weightlifting is the best base for striking in MMA. Conor McGregor is one of the best. Absolutely one of the best. The MMA way. Something people don't talk about is physicality in MMA. It's just as important as having the grappling, the striking, the fight IQ. It has been make or break for a lot of fighters. That's very true, Jason. You can absolutely look at fighters like Derek Lewis and his just get up mentality. Of course, Dricus du Plessis is the all about physicality. Bringing up Israel Adesanya and talking about his fight with the short Mexican king. He loves tacos and hates losing weight. Horrible fighter, but physicality, pushing forward, all about the boxing. Like, physicality does help a lot. Look at when Brian Ortega had Alexander Volkanovski in that chokehold. It was just it was just Volk just wanting to be in the fight and being that short ball of muscle that kept him into it. It's entirely possible that Marvin's last performance was a matter of ring rust and returning from a very serious injury. If that's the case, then there will be huge value in $3 as him as an underdog. That's true, and the fight will be extremely close. That's also very true, Larry. Also, don't forget that, however, Marvin is going through a lot right now with what happened with his brother. Like, Marvin might not be in the best headspace ever, and he's already kind of dumb. Not trying to shit on it. It's fucking horrible. If that had ever happened to my brother, I'd be more than devastated. I'm just saying, Marvin already doesn't have the best brain for MMA, and if he's as distracted as I imagine that he is, yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? Dougie, you're the uncle, right? Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate it, mate. Kelvin Gastelum, that was the one. Thank you, Chris. It was at the end of my tongue, but I couldn't get the words out. Thank you, dude. Technique is a great idea, but power has more power of mind, but I agree with the technique. Nice one, Andrew. Thank you. I just started grappling, done stand-up for 3 years properly right now. Nice one, Kyle. Kyle, how old are you? Like, how far are you into your MMA life cycle? How many hours did John stare at it? Oh, simply Curtis. Some say he's still staring at it to this day. Some say it's his phone background. Raining like crazy here, Dougie. How's the weather there? Let's have a look, Nacho. There are storm clouds coming in over the horizon. Storm clouds coming in over the horizon. I feel like that rain is going to hit Melbourne in a few hours. If you could say it was the most dominant fighter in UFC history, who would you pick? Dominant fighter in UFC history? You could say Khabib, yeah, because Khabib only ever lost one round and was never cut open or bled. You could say you could say Anderson Silva all the way up to the Chris Weidman fight. You could also say, no, you couldn't say Tony Ferguson during his run because Tony Ferguson got hit in the face a lot. You could also say Francis Ngannou on his run up to Stipe until Stipe stopped him. I think it was 16 fights all in the first round. It was insane. Marvin is never that good. I think Allen has a higher ceiling. Marlon was never that good. I think Allen has a higher ceiling. I agree. Marvin was never that good. I agree. People who think power is enough should just go watch Power Slap. There is barely any technique. That is very true, Joy. Bisping being Gastelum's last knockout still upsets me. Yeah, that is fair. That is fair, especially as such a big Bisping fan. Yeah, I agree, Jim. I hope you do your tier list on your members stream. I never do a members stream, Andrew. I only release streams as members streams if it gets a little bit too controversial during the live. Dougie, do you like coconut water? I don't mind it, but I don't go out of my way to buy it if that is your, if that's what you're getting at. I'm sending you the storm, brother. Big storm coming, brother. Now we know what Connor meant by him being number 1 and Jon Jones being number 2. Now we know, OTM. It's not raining at my house yet. It's coming. What did you do before you came? What did you do before I went live? I went to the gym and then I cleaned my apartment. Dougie, I sent you a koala bear video in the Discord DMs if you want to have a laugh. Thank you too, Smelly. I'll check it out. Tom has been pretty dominant. Tom has been very dominant. That's true. Barely even 2 weeks after the GSP. I know, that was just ego. That was literally just Bisping's ego, and he shouldn't have done it, and it's so annoying. Rigo loves Power Slap. Rigo is an idiot. A prime Kane. People forget, man. Other than getting Junior out of there in the first round was unstoppable. Yeah, Cain Velasquez as well, true. Who do you think is going to be the next best challenge for Tom Aspinall now that he's become the undisputed champ? I don't know. I really don't know. Tom Aspinall is so far ahead of the game. It's insane. And I'm looking at the heavyweight division. I don't think Almeida is going to be able to out-wrestle Aspinall. Obviously, Derek Lewis has a chance at knocking Tom Aspinall out, but if I had to put a percentage on it, I'd say 20%, 25%. And then you're looking at the young up-and-comers. Is it going to be Waldo Ortez Acosta? No, he lost to Sergey Spivak. Is it going to be Taliesin Teixeira? No. I don't know. Do you think Top Turo will leak his own Chozuro picks? He's going to have to, mate, after he snaps his leg in half. Dougie only drinks coconut water if his food colouring and sugar added to the bottle labelled Prime. Oh, yeah, of course. I didn't mind Prime. I've had a couple of Primes before. I was drinking them when I was in America. I was just getting into the vibe of being an American, going to Dunkin' Donuts and drinking Prime. I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty tasty. Like, we have it here in Australia. I just haven't touched it since I got back from America. The UFC needs Francis Ngannou more than ever. I completely agree, Jim. I keep scrolling down to some chick yapping about each time she gets a little bit hotter. Nacho, stop it and go crank one out. Get some clarity. Almeida could 50-45 Aspinall. We just haven't seen Tom fight that style. I think just on the size difference alone, Toad, and the fact that Tom Aspinall came up doing jiu-jitsu, I think he would be able to create the scrambles and get back up to his feet. Tom Aspinall versus Tony Ferguson, a true death waiting to happen. Dougie loves that coconut water. Thank you too, Smelly. Appreciate it. Early mum weight session, Dougie. Early morning weight session. I do early morning weights every single morning, mate. We all wake up hard as fuck. No, I do the gym every single morning, mate. 26 right now and started around 22, but it was doing wrestling for 2 years before that. But this stream is about you, Dougie. Do you have time? Do you have time to do any MMA? Oh, dude, I'm 37. No, I'm far too old for that. So no, I have been in a lot of fights as a young scrapper. And I have mates that train in particular sports, but no, not for me, mate. I'm too far gone past that. But well done, dude. 26, you're on the track, man. How much money would it take for you to fight the Dark Lord Bare Knuckle? $5 million. Look at what Blades did to Almeida. The level between Tom and the rest of the heavyweight is that's the thing. Like, I don't see who can beat Tom Aspinall when he's so far ahead of the curb. Dougie, thoughts on Droid versus Holland? On D-Rod versus Holland. I made a bet that D-Rod wins. If I lose, I got to change my profile picture to Holland for a week. That's the problem with Kevin Holland, Weston. It depends on whether or not Kevin Holland is actually fired up and trying. I don't know. It's flip a coin because it all depends on Kevin Holland's mood. If Kevin Holland wants to win, he will win. Otherwise, D-Rod is going to outpace him. I lift weights while I sleep. Base Justin Kennedy. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. Jim is dying. People are sleeping on Gay Cheese. I think he has a better chance than what people think, especially with Ilya's boxing chance. Gay Cheese can eat those leg kicks and take that power away. I disagree, OTM. I disagree. I don't think 36-year-old Gay Cheese is going to be able to stay in there with Ilia Topuria. I think Ilia Topuria is going to be able to handle the leg kicks and counter because Gaethje likes to throw that big overhand, turn it into a collar tie. I think Ilia Topuria being on the inside where Gaethje wants Ilia Topuria to be is just sort of living in Ilia Topuria's world, and we've now seen how that's not such a good idea. Thank you too, Smelly. I appreciate it, dude. Would you ever do a collab with Sex MMA? Absolutely, Eric. Dougie beats Bilal for real? Absolutely not. Behave, you're not over 30. I am absolutely over 30. She just stopped streaming for fuck's sake, and now we're stuck with this dingbag. Sorry, Chris. Jalton struggled with the size of Curtis Blades, which is why he had to spam the mat returns and gas out. I doubt it, but I am terrified of that happening. And John yapping on Twitter. Jalton struggled with the size of Curtis Blades, which is why he had to spam the mat returns and gas out. Yeah, but Tom Aspinall's bigger than Curtis Blades, isn't he? Tom's bigger than Curtis. So, yeah, Toad, I don't know. Like, either way, if Tom Aspinall loses his next 3 fights, the bragging from Jon Jones is going to be insufferable. Insufferable. Like, Tom needs to be dominant in his next 3 fights. Tom versus Alex, thoughts on that? Tom Aspinall could play with Alex Pereira for the first round if he chose to, but the moment that he wanted the fight to be over, he will blast a double leg and kills him. The press conference looks like it's going to be boring as hell to watch. I know, Jason Waterfalls. Like, they're all going to be overly respectful to each other, and Paulo Costa can't speak a word of English. I know. Jesse on Fire selling a course on how to do thumbnail impression. Alright, guys, what you got to do is you got to make yourself look as crazy as possible. Now, there's more to it just that. You've also got to put the word nuclear in every single video. But I'm going to give you 5 more secrets. All you have to do is hit me up, hit the link, and I will do a one-on-one course with you guys that you won't be able to figure out anywhere. Fucking Jesse on Fire. Topuria KOs Gaethje the same time he did it to Charles. Yeah, that's what I kind of think. I never tried Prime, to be honest. I buy an electrolyte drink every once in a while, but I mainly always just keep a bag of pink salt on me and take about 100 milligrams when I start working up a hard sweat. Yeah, so I just take electrolyte tablets. Like, they're just grocery store electrolyte tablets. That's all I need. I'm so clear right now. Oh, he's going clear right now. Justin Kennedy, you're with me on the D-Rod for the win pick. Dougie should interview only WMMA fighters. Not a bad bad take, Nacho. Kevin Holland is a Canadian, not Max. I was confused by the last... Oh, fair enough, Andrew. There you go. Women struggle with my size. Stop doing so much heavy lifting in the morning. When I scroll down, I've got some Ice Spice wannabe gyrating on a bed. Oh, society's cooked. Society is cooked. Stop it. Douglas is a day over 20. I'm a couple of days. I'm a fair few days over 25, boys. And so first thing in the morning with a glass of water, dehydration is the primary cause of morning brain fog. I agree, Larry. Yeah, no, so I have a glass of water at the end. So in my bedroom, I've got another desk at the end of the bedroom where I have a glass of water there, which is full of electrolytes, and then I have a caffeine tablet there as well. So I wake up, have 100 milligrams of caffeine, have a glass of electrolytes, have a multivitamin, and then I go to the gym. That's where we're at in the morning routine lately. Would you train for a MMA for a YouTuber MMA fight, maybe a catch weight with Guru? Yeah, I'd be open to it. So Kyle, if I can make an online income being an MMA YouTuber, I would do Muay Thai a couple of times a week and Jiu-Jitsu a couple of times a week, just because I like moving my body and staying fit and staying healthy. Like, I still believe you can be an old man in the gym, doing rounds and just, keeping your body active, because if you don't use it, you absolutely lose it. And if this was to become my main job, sitting in this chair for 5 hours a day, would be a big contradiction to my current life, which is, being on my feet all day long. So I would absolutely want to do something like that for sure. MMA Joey, why are we saying MMA Joey? Jon Jones would do the typical Wakanda move and brag about someone else beating Tom, like he was in there doing spinning kicks at 37. I know, Yumjoy. He would absolutely claim the win for his own. I shared a coconut meme in the Discord. If you're not, you'll watch it. Otherwise, you're definitely a homosexual. All right, Too Smelly. Everyone go and watch it for Too Smelly Fingers. Unironically, nobody I know has tried Prime and likes it. I liked it. I thought it was great. Not great, but I didn't hate it. Yo, Dougie, for real, come back with that coconut. What are you saying, Ram MMA? Ain't no party without my boy. I'm never going anywhere. I'm 38, almost 40. Well, there you go, Andrew. My third eye is opened. I can see through space and time. Too Smelly Fingers has eaten a lot of mushrooms, boys, and he is seeing things now. Looking for the Ice Spice wannabe. Nipples. The tablets you put in the water soda like drink and mix, that's 1,000, so a little borderline counterproductive. Yeah, they're just electrolyte tablets, and I just stir them in the morning. Dougie, counterpoint, power beats skill, Dougie, counterpoint, power beats skill, even at half the skill. If they land, Friendless Norseman, but if you have the skill to get your head out of the way, then you're going to tie somebody out real bloody quickly. Dougie, baby, we need to get back to the Ram Ranch ASAP. Ram Ranch MMA, I don't know what you are on about, but it sounds gay. That's 5 o'clock shadow. That 5 o'clock shadow has you looking bloody youthful. Thank you, Too Smelly Fingers. I like this channel now because you gifted me a membership. I ain't gonna lie. You're welcome, random person. Welcome to the channel. They actually had Prime Van come to on base, hand out free. They actually had a Prime Van come to the base and hand out free Prime from the Marines, and nobody took it. Videos of all the stockpiles in our stores, gave them away for free because nobody would buy it. Not even trying to be a hater. So why do you hate Prime? Just because of Jake Paul? Fair enough. If Jon Jones wasn't juiced, do you think he would be as good? I think clean Jon Jones would have beaten DC. No, I don't think he would have been as good, because I don't think he would have been able to take his training as lightly as he took it. I think he needed to be on steroids to take training so lightly to give him that extra edge. Steroids do help with your recovery, with your health, with how hard you hit, because it increases your muscle mass, it increases your speed. And if you go back and watch that DC fight, the second DC fight, DC was having success in round 2 or round 3. So I think it's all the intangibles that make Jon Jones so elite and above everybody else. But saying that those intangibles do not come from steroids really isn't believing it really isn't understanding what steroids actually do, man. The rain just hit. That shit was hilarious. It was earlier this year, but I'll try and find the videos. Do it, Eric. Cyril Goon will heel hook Tom Aspinall. Only the heel hook will be by Volta Walker. So Cyril Goon is just going to send Volta Walker in there. Nice. Dougie's MMA interview list. Nunes, Harrison, McCain, Andrade, Pennington, and Torres. No, there is only one women's MMA fighter that I want to interview. What was her name? We were talking about her yesterday. She's got the best smile in the world. Those spinning kicks are dangerous. Almost blew my knee out doing that shit. Yeah, Too Smelly Fingers, if you're not a fighter, don't try and recreate kicking. You'll tear your ACL. Do an impression of MMA, Joey. Oh my God! Ian Machado, Gary lost. Counterpoint to Francis Ngannou. Fair enough, Friendless Norseman. That's true, Nacho. I dig it. Counterpoint to that one. Dougie, please, bro, for real. Random Ranch has been silent without you. I'll come back to Ram Ranch one day, mate. I'll bring the lube. Why are you gay? What the hell is that list? You missed the absolute goat. You're looking tired, man. Oh, my God. That's because I'm old, Lord of the Pies. Dougie's Corner for $1 million. Would you fight Andrew Butamonte in MMA and you can't hold back? Absolutely not, Myla. I love Andrew. I would never hurt him. Pena doesn't look like fish tacos. She looks alright. That's why I don't consider Jon Jones in the GOAT debate. Exactly, Yundi. Exactly, dude. Did you see that Wonderboy shin after the fight with Bonfim? I had it 29-28 for Thompson. There is a picture and an interview where he says they had to put 34 stitches in it to close the wound. Oh my God. No, I didn't see the photo of it. And I also had it 29-28 for Thompson. I thought it was an absolute robbery. Lauren Murphy? No, not Lauren Murphy. Natalia Silva. What a sweetheart. Nobody likes the Flavor nor the Paul brothers. Not in the high test society of the corpse. That is fair enough, dude. The Marine Corps are the highest testosterone society in the USA. And you guys aren't drinking. You guys aren't drinking Jake Paul's piss week drink. It's White Monster or nothing for the boys. Thoughts on the Fight Fairy collab to one-up Giuliano Ahente? I don't think Fight Fairy would want to talk to me, mate. I don't think I'm her type. Too masculine. Are you saying Jon Jones is the best because he has because of his intangible girth? Exactly, Myla. Steroids don't do anything to help be a better fighter. It's the biggest lot of cope in MMA spaces. That is the dumbest sentence I've ever read, Yumjoy, and I've done a lot of MMA streams. Absolutely, steroids help with your speed, your accuracy, your recovery, your pace, how much oxygen you can get into your bloodstream. Yeah, that's fucking insane. Karate Combat, Lord of the Pies. What's up, Wixon? How are you, dude? Leroy Murphy, Duggar is never beating the allegations. There you go. I got the highest testosterone. You do, Wixon. I like Paul, but I don't care about Paul's family or even his talks. That's fair enough, Andrew. I don't really care about Jake Paul at all. What is wrong with taking steroids? They just make MMA more entertaining. Oh, I didn't. If they can all juice, they can all juice. Let them all juice to the fucking gills. Let them all juice. Go nuts, yeah? But don't test some of them and not test others and give some a pass and not give others a pass. Like, make it like BKFC. Very obvious that we're all just juicing to the gills. That's where I'm at with it, Toad. MMA Guru messaged DDP last night to try and grab an interview. I hope that he gets it. Dougie, where the fuck you at, Branch? Ramro, running low on zest and electrolytes. Mate, I wish that I could goon my zesty electrolytes all over your Ram Ranch, but I'm just not available at the moment, mate. I'm trying to keep it fully straight. Dougie, steroids are good for the sports. I agree. I would like them all to do steroids. What's up, Combat Catholic? How are you, dude? That's what I said. It's there. I said it's there. Oh, fair enough, Yumjoy. I apologize, mate. I shouldn't have jumped down your throat. Just popped in and someone is complaining, is complimenting my beloved corpse. That's right, Eric is. Dougie, how much do you weigh right now? I have no idea, Wixon. I always weigh somewhere between 85 and 90 kilograms. Going by the fact that I can see I've got a pretty decent rig right now. Not the best rig, but I've got a pretty decent rig right now. I'm guessing that I'm about 87 kilos, unless I'm getting heavier as I get older. The majority of fighters are poor and can't afford the steroids to pass the drug test. I know, dude. So it creates an unfair advantage for the wealthy fighter. That's true, too, Smelly. That's absolutely true, and I hate it. Right. We have finally caught up. How long have I been live for? About an hour. Happens every time. Now we can get across to Twitter. And we can look at Bryce Mitchell tell his story, finally, about what has been going on. We can catch up on the MMA news, and then we can start to build our who is our best striker of all time tier list. Finally, the first hour is just insane chatting, but I don't mind it. I like it a lot. I'm very, very appreciative of the community that we have built. Let's listen to Bryce Mitchell tell his story. We're not going to play the entire thing because it goes for 3 minutes.
There were 6 Muslim men in that changing room, and they had them full white gowns on head to toe. You already know what I'm talking about. Apparently, me being naked greatly offended them, to the point where I thought that they might actually start a fight with me. And they started walking at me. They started yelling at me. And I could tell that they were mad because I was naked. Because they wasn't mad when I walked in. They was only mad when I got out of the shower. And I was like, okay, well, they must be mad that I'm naked. And I didn't know this until it was too late. So I got these 6 dudes about to fight me 6-on-1, okay? And I'm trying to tell them, hey, I'm sorry. You know, they got all their white gowns on, and I start thinking, well, my Lord, I think all of my years of gi training are about to pay off, because I'm about to be grabbing these dudes by their gowns and just fighting, brother, because that's the only thing I can do is just pull that towel over their head and start swinging. That's what was going through my head. And so I was sitting there exposed before my fellow man. And by the way,
this is the best part. This is the best part, chat. Listen in. This is the fucking best part of the story.
There was a cold breeze in that room. So not only am I exposed before my fellow man, I'm outnumbered and I'm outsized, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm not feeling very confident.
I'm outnumbered and I'm outsized. There was a cold breeze in that room and I was naked. Alright, I'm going to read everyone's chats. Let me catch back up. Oh, fucking hell. There was a cold breeze in that room, and I was outsized. Oh, man. Dougie just wants to see more veiny guys. It's true, mate. Oh, God. The most professional fighters are on something that's very well known. Very true. Oh, God. Just moved to a house out in the countryside, and I've never seen so many weird bugs and massive spiders in my life. I don't know how you Aussies handle this. We keep cans of bug spray absolutely everywhere, mate. I don't want to see a Sean Woodson crawling over my walls, dude. Oh, my Lord. Volume up. We did it. Bryce, no. They were looking at your cheeks in the shower there, Bryce. Crafty Bryce's power of deduction can't be stopped. They seem to be upset with me. Big sus shout out to Idaho Skate Man. There you go. They always attack in groups. Oh my Lord. He's gonna get smashed. He's gonna get absolutely smashed. They were offended by the size of my huge dick. We just needed Comet to come in. Dougie boy, come back to Ram Ranch. Never. Did he just say that he had a little dick? He just said that it was cold, Weston. We've all had a cold day. Bryce is like 30, talking like he's an aging vet. I know, dude, but it's still so goddamn funny. Connor, if you can hear us, save Bryce Mitchell. He should have been lifting heavy weights with Connor to match their size. I agree with you, Dougie. Andrew is a cool guy. Andrew is a cool guy, man. I grab him by the chuff of the... I can't read this one, Lorendo. Grab him by the scuff of the chest and slap him. You little ding-dommer thing. Keep playing it. We will. Bryce is the best. Dougie, did you know the history is written by Lorendo? I do, mate. I'm upset with Bryce because I'm upset with Bryce just because he sucks. I know, dude. They were pissed at Bryce Mitchell attempting their gay fantasies. But it was cold for everyone else's dick. That is true, Weston. That is true. Oh my god. Should we play a little bit more? Let's let Bryce finish his story.
At this moment, and I got these 6 dudes yelling at me, walking at me, telling me leave. And then, thank the Lord, TJ Brown comes in. He says, hey Bryce, you alright, brother? And that was the happiest I've ever been to see TJ Brown in my life. Because I thought, we can sure as hell take 3 apiece. I don't know if I can take 6 of them, but I know I can take 3 of them.
So Bryce is there naked with TJ Brown in the doorway. Bryce is just standing there fucking starkers. With TJ Brown in the doorway, Bryce is going, TJ, you take 3, I'll take these 3, and we'll get it done, brother. Try and stay out of the way of my dick. Fucking off he goes. Oh, fucking hell, Bryce.
I'll take 3 apiece. I don't know if I can take 6 of them, but I know I can take 3 of them. I proceeded to tell them I'm sorry over and over. And then they finally let me get dressed. And brother, let me tell you, I have never put on my blue jeans and my boots quicker in my life than I did that day.
There we go, boys. That's the story. That is the story of today's live stream. Fucking Bryce Mitchell. Oh my fucking Lord. I love Bryce Mitchell so fucking much, man. TJ Brown. TJ, just dick out. TJ Brown, you take these three fellas. I'll take these three fellas, and we'll see what the hell goes down. Jesus. What a news week. What a news week, Eric. Jesus God. Typical money. You need a shower with a robe on. Where else do you get changed? Bryce never got his chicks tooken. Bryce didn't get his chicks tooken. Nope. Keep them queer boys from looking at my Woody. We wanted Bryce, but when we got Bryce, it kind of sucked, unfortunately. I know, Lord, I know. We wanted Bryce to live up to it fully, but he didn't, dude. I agree with you, Lord of the Pies, man, yeah. TJ Brown is code for a naked Muslim guy. Bryce got his first prison experience without going to prison. Whoa, I didn't even drop the soap. Hang on, this ain't how this game is meant to start. I thought we were playing touch butt in the showers. Bryce, no, he took on 3 dudes. I've been saying for 6 months that he needs to go to different training camp. He got to get the training camp he needs sitting around in Arkansas. I agree, Lord of the Pies. He's got to take his training seriously. Your at-home octagon shouldn't be filled with pigs, mate. Bryce's strength equals 3 shuckers. It's true. He was fighting for his manhood at that point. If you're sitting around in Arkansas thinking you're going to be the best in the world, you're going to be the best in the world at martial arts training, you're nuts. You need to have Miami or something like that. I agree, Lord of the Prize. I completely agree. You can't half-time being a top 5 bantamweight or flyweight or featherweight. Like, you cannot half-time it. You can't half-time it. What a news week. Dude, we're so back, Eric. We're so back. He seems like the type of guy that would fight butt naked. Dude, Trippy, I believe if they didn't back down, Bryce would have 100% thrown down naked. I don't think Bryce would have had a problem throwing down naked. Oh, God. Those guys tore up the tomato plant, and then they started tearing up my tomato plant. So I held up my dick, and I put my forearm across it, and I said, in the name of the Lord. In the name of the Lord. Lord of the Pies, you're an idiot, man. You can become world-class no matter where you're from. All community and love. I reckon it was the In-Betweeners episode with him slapping it. That's what it exactly would have looked like, man. Jesus Christ, dude. Alright, we got a little bit more news now that we can get through it. We got a little bit more news now that we can get through stuff. Where are we at? We did Alex Pereira weighing in. Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier news. Let's do this. What the hell is there? What the hell's going on my screen now, brother? Dustin Poirier news. Let's go over to that. Dustin Poirier is officially going to be walking out to Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's going to be doing the walkout. But apparently we're still getting the James Brown song. So I don't know if we're going to hear Lil Wayne sing Paid the Cost to Be the Boss. I don't know how the fuck that's going to go down. That seems like a horrible idea to have Lil Wayne sing Pay the Cost to Be the Boss. I don't know how Lil Wayne's going to do that. Yo, pay the cost to be the boss. I don't know how that fucking gonna work, but that is apparently the plan. What's up, what's up, Justin Kennedy? Good to hear you back. Bryce would have taught them the Dougie Teabag special. Get on down there. I'm gonna show you some determined. How many tougher bros entering the octagon one at a time would it take to beat Tom Aspinall? One at a time? Probably 15 by the time Tom Aspinall tires out. The power of Christ compels you, brother. It's funny that the guy calling me an idiot has me blocked, but it's still responding to me. Anyway, there's no good coaches in Arkansas. Pull your head out of your ass, says Lord of the Pies. Bryce would have learned how to play Taru Rush. I live where Bryce lives. There are no good MMA gyms here. There are no good coaches here. Pull your head out of your ass. He's doubling down. Lil Wayne, Dougie's favorite musician. Yeah, I don't really love Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne sounds like Nate Diaz and Helium. He does. Lil Wayne's been washed for years and is known to be awful. I've actually seen Lil Wayne live. It was pretty good. Lil Wayne is going to put drugs in Max's brother. In Max's brother? Lil Wayne's going to put the drugs in Max. You know Lil Wayne needs another face tattoo. Yeah, he's missing some face tattoos. Probably the only rapper cheap enough and not busy all the time. True. Now he's got something to do. Why does Lil Wayne look like he is an E.T.? He is E.T. in Poirier. He does look like E.T. in Poirier's like they're on the way to the moon. Thoughts on Conor McGregor's wee leaks? We've talked about it for like 7 hours now. But welcome to the channel. Do people not realize the significance of Wayne walking Dustin? Maybe they don't, Nacho. So, Dustin Poirier's first walk to the octagon was a Lil Wayne song. So, yeah, Lil Wayne walking him out for his last walk to the octagon is the significance there. But also, he still wants to walk out to pay the cost to be the boss. So, I don't know how this is going to work. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a weird, mashup that Joe Rogan at least won't ruin again, because Joe Rogan is not going to be on the call, thank the Lord. That's the wrong screen. That's the wrong screen. That's the right screen. Two Tapurias versus one Jon Jones. Who wins? One Jon Jones destroys two Tapurias frozen waves. Welcome to the channel. How many years ago did you see him live? Like 15 years? Yeah, it would have been about that. It was during Eminem's Recovery Tour. That's when I saw him live. So whenever Recovery dropped, a year after that. They're also both from Louisiana. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that Lil Wayne was from Louisiana as well. There you go, Nacho. Dana hates when fighters do this stuff because it's not boxing. That is true, Em, but, Dustin Poirier is getting a very special event just for him. He's going to break the rules just for himself. Why does Dustin like Lil Wayne? His first walkout, and there you go, the Louisiana connection as well, man. Two Tapurias versus one Jon Jones. Who win? I said one Jon Jones, Frozen Waves. Welcome to the channel. Probably a mashup. It's probably going to be a little bit of a mashup, yeah. He has done so many drugs, his voice is mangled, but now it'll be cool if he walks out before Wayne, before he gets flatlined. Number one, Dustin's not getting flatlined. Number two, it doesn't matter if his voice is mangled. They'll just play an overstep track. Have you ever seen those artists? They don't sing on the microphone. They just mouth along to the song that's the overstep track. What a shame Joe Rogan won't be on commentary. I'm devastated. I know, if only Joe Rogan could ruin yet another Dustin Poirier walkout. I'm so sad, Nacho. What Lil Wayne song was Do You Know? What Lil Wayne song do I know? None off the top. I know them, but not enough to say them off the top of my head. You liked Eminem? I still like Eminem. I'm a 37-year-old white man. Yes, I like Eminem. Who's surprised, mate? Nacho and Dougie at the same concert 13 years ago is generational. Oh, I know, mate! Crazy, dude. Crazy. Lil Wayne is from New Orleans, but the same, right? Max will leave on a stretcher again. I reckon he will. Friendless Norseman. If you were a fighter and it was your final fight, who would you walk out with? James Maynard singing something from Tool. Yeah. James Maynard singing something from Tool. Or maybe Kanye. I might actually... Oh, actually, you know what? It could probably be Kanye. Could probably be Kanye walking me out. That was prime Lil Wayne. He still had it back then. On him staying so fat, but then good on him for staying famous. Yeah, it's hard to stay famous, so good on him, man. Not gonna lie, Eminem made Lil Wayne good. Songs they did together were good, but mainly because Eminem wrote them. True, Kyle. It would only take one Ilya Tapuri to leave Jon Jones stiff on the canvas. Absolutely not, Mr. Toad, no. Dougie fucking gathering all of us in here. You got two fucking Marines in here. Shout out to the Marines, best stormtroopers in the world. Why can't Joe Rogan commentate? He can commentate, but I think he's just going as a fan. I don't think he wants to do it. What a retarded take. Do you have 8 Mile? Do I have 8 Mile? The DVD? No, I do not have 8 Mile. No way you're 37. I thought you were like 28. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. But yes, I am old. Dougie and Nacho shared the same beer bong at that Lil Wayne concert. We might have, dude. We might have. Although, I doubt it because I was in a private box for that Eminem concert. So I had a girlfriend who worked at the stadium in corporate, and she managed to get us a box. So we had the corporate area where there was like food and shit. And VIP packages, and then it broke down into the little private boxes they have when you watch the football. So I had a private box for that concert. I didn't pay for it. It was a present. It was a fucking birthday Christmas present. She pulled some strings. I was very lucky to be there. But yeah, we had a little private box that a corporate paid for. Didn't you say you were 36? Or it's 36 going on 37. I'm not going to tell you guys what day my birthday is. It's 36 going on 37 this month. Thought Dougie was 58, not 58. Thought the same about most of your comments, Nacho, but I didn't feel the need. There you go. Sounds it was fucking awesome, dude. It was fucking awesome. Maybe lip syncing. Yeah, it'll be lip syncing. Yeah. What song of Lil Wayne's did Dustin play? I don't know. Nacho will know. Nacho will know what song it was. On early today, not the AM, bro. Dougie does butt chugs. No. Rich kid in a private. Didn't pay for it. Didn't pay for it. Not with that girl anymore. Not with that chick anymore. She's got a family now. Not outing her, but she organized it. It was fucking awesome. Dougie got a story for everything. This dude's got to be like, it's not that hard to. She worked in corporate. She worked at the stadium. It's not that wild of a story, man. Saying Eminem made Lil Wayne good is the whitest thing I've ever heard. Dougie's birthday is the same as Conor McGregor's birthday. It's not the same as Conor McGregor's birthday. Only concert I went to was Prime Tyler, the Creator, with my best friends and a bunch of footy homies. Nice one, Chris. I used to love going to concerts back in the day. I'll probably get back into going to them. Just sitting up at the back row of my old ass. I want to go see Bliss and Esso in Frankston. They're playing soon. The only concert I went to, I wish it was me fighting Raul Rosas Jr. on the Counter Series. I wish it was me fighting Raul Rosas Jr. on the Contender Series when he was 17. I would have beat the shit out of that boy. Jesus, Em, what do you got against Chihuahuas, dude? What are the chances? They're not that high, dude. They're not that high. He came to Melbourne. She worked in corporate. She got me a booth. It was fucking awesome. Do you have pictures of that girl? No. Saying lifting weights. Are you worried Azalea Banks is going to leak your pick? No, dude. She'll hold them for the rest of her life. Saying Eminem won't reign. Dougie old ass go to Mozart live. I wouldn't mind going to a live orchestral show, like when you go and watch a movie and the orchestra plays everything down the bottom. I wouldn't mind doing that. The only live concert sort of a thing that I've seen is remember when Matt Stone and Trey Parker were doing their Book of Mormon live? I went and saw that in Melbourne with a mate. That was pretty good. Okay, next bit of news. Jon Jones. Let's go. Next bit of news. Jon Jones.
Fight. Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that card. It's going to be historic.
He's talking about the White House card. This is Jon Jones talking about the White House card. This is Jon Jones talking about the White House card. He's pretty sure that he's going to be on the White House card. Although Jon Jones is probably lying because Jon Jones loves attention. But here we go.
Anyone, anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that card. It's going to be historic.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Any possible names you think?
Well, no, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. It'd be only fitting to have an American guy fight for the championship that night, and I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice. So they have
Let's run a poll. Let's run a poll. Let's run a poll. Let's run a poll. Let's do this. Jones steps up. Let's run a poll. I am calling absolute BS here, guys. I do not think there is any chance. I don't think there is any chance in the world that Jon Jones fights Tom Aspinall, even if it is at the White House. There is no way in hell Jon Jones is risking the legacy of being slept on the lawns of the White House. There is no way in hell that Jon Jones is going to take that fight. This is Jon Jones just doing anything that he can to keep his name in the media cycle. That's what I think is going on here, man. Let me read some chats. In Vancouver, I got the dopest hot chick dance up at me when Tyler had Vince stepped up on him, like the whole shit. That sounds awesome, Chris. I love it when that moment happens. Eminem wrote all of his songs, including the ones Lil Wayne was in. I mean, Eminem was the ghostwriter for a lot of the artists on Shady Records, but I don't think he ghostwrote for Lil Wayne. Eminem, a match with Eminem. That's true, Andrew. M ain't gonna let Wayne write their songs. Kyle, you clearly don't understand how music works. I see Queens of the Stone. I saw Queen of the Stone Age open for the Red Hot Chili Peppers at Mullinan Center. That sounds awesome, dude. I like Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah, that's fucking sick. And Red Hot Chili. That's a sick one. He sounds gayer and gay. He is slipping deeper into gayness, isn't he? Jon Jones is injured. He's leaping. No, he's just fat and old, Chris has been watching way too many Dougie videos. What do you mean? I'm saying you're so old that you got to listen to Mozart. Oh, I'm so old that I got to listen to Mozart in person. That's how old I am. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it, mate. Jon Jones is the best. No, no. He's actually acting kind of normal there. I'd fight anyone. I don't care. Any big man on that night, I'll take him. Roll a poll, and if Jon Jones takes it, oh, well, you know the answer to that one. That's the problem. That one's just going to be 100%. He's actually talking kind of normal there. I'm tired of these Aspinall arse lickers. I'm an Aspinall arse licker. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. I'm an Aspinall fan, but welcome to the channel anyway. Dougie in Auckland had the Auckland DJs from the Auckland EDM radio station. Was awesome. You'd like it. I think they do it every year. Dougie, the orchestra in Auckland had the Auckland accompanying DJs from the Auckland EDM radio station. That was, yeah, I would like that, Paul. That sounds bloody awesome, dude. I love that. I love orchestral backings. Like, again, Hilltop Hood's one of my favorite groups. They've released 2 albums where they've remixed the albums with an orchestra playing over the entire album. Some of my favorite albums ever. Jon Jones is a scary cat. He is, dude. Jon Jones is a scary cat. 88% Jon Jones doesn't fight him. I'm not surprised. He's always a year away tops from saying he's in a relationship with Jeff Molina. Jeff Molina not calling me back? That's annoying to me. Jeff Molina not calling me back is annoying to me. I will not stand for this Jon Jones hate. What's up, Robbie Santos? We're part of the Jon Jones hater club. Welcome to the channel, dude. He is going to fight him. I doubt the White House card even happens. I think the White House card is going to happen, dude. I think it is going to happen, brother. Jones is a duck boy. He is. Jon Jones is a duck. Absolutely true. He seems different the way he's acting and carrying himself. Yeah, because now he doesn't have to worry about fighting Tom Aspinall. He can just say things in the media and get attention for it. Marab lip syncing to Millie by a Lil Wayne impression. I don't know the Amelie. The song keeps going like this. It just says Amelie again and again. This is my favorite kind of song. We can be man. Amelie. Jesus Christ. He's hoping and praying Tommy loses so that he can fight anybody else for the belt. That's exactly what it is, Chris. Jeff Molina was boo-boo, Wild Thing confirmed. That is true, mate. Jeff Molina still looking at the Conor McGregor picks. Tom is ducking Volkov. Tom is not ducking Volkov. And Eminem sucks ass. I could understand why the youth hate Eminem. I don't think the UFC would let him. He screwed everyone. They don't take that lightly. I agree, Kyle. I don't think the UFC would want him on that goddamn card. You got me here just mulling over what the perfect Kanye song would be to walk out of your retirement fight. I know, right? Which one would it be? There's so many good ones, mate. Tom is ducking Meal Deal Gaziev. Tom is not ducking the Meal Deal Gaziev. Doug, you look like you could have been a special guest on a sitcom show like Scrubs or Will and Grace. Thanks, Myla. I appreciate it, mate. A White House card would already be the biggest draw in UFC history. They would never give Jon Jones the money they already offered him to fight Tom, so no chance Jon would ever do it. That's right, Lane. They'd already be wasting a ton of money on the White House card, on production, on building the stage and the octagon and everything. There's no way they're giving Jon $30 million. You're welcome. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it, mate. Saw Queens of the Stone Age open for 9 Inch Nails. Now that sounds like an amazing concert. Clip it right fucking now with a gay boy of a thing. Can you do a poll and if chat wants Alexa Grasso's favorite chicken wings? Yeah, that's not a bad poll, Yog. That's not a bad poll at all. Watch out, Eric. Watch out. I'm an ass licker. I know. I didn't realize what I was just saying. He knew he left for a reason or was I knew that he had left for a reason or he was rotting in a desert. Yeah, he's worried about Tom Aspinall, big Chris. Read Eric, read Yog, read them both. He's terrified. He's literally ruined his legacy. Nobody cares that he retired. I know, that's like... He's already lost to Tom Aspinall. Like, it's over, mate. You ruined your entire legacy. The least trustable fighters the UFC should expect to be on the White House card are Jon Jones and Conor McGregor. Why would you book the most important event of the year around 2 of the biggest pullout merchants in the UFC currently? That's like, we should do a UFC White House card, right? We should do Jon Jones, co-main event, Conor McGregor, feature fight, Movsar Evloev, start off the pay-per-view, Manel Kape, and then to kick off the pay-per-view, Paulo Costa. Let's just have all of the fighters that never ever show up to fights on the White House card. Sounds good to me. Music is haram. True, mate. He will never get a belt again. No, you're absolutely right, Andrew. But they might give him the BMF belt, which I hate. Something with a fitting theme for the end, like Good Night. Banger doesn't fit. It would be funny, like Bound 2 or Runaway. Runaway would be good, but no, Runaway doesn't fit like the last night. You know what I mean? Melina definitely whacked off to the Conor McGregor photos, 100%. If you don't make Talbot versus Wellmaker, then why not? If you don't make Talbot versus Melmaker, why not? Why are we saying this, Nacho? Why are we just throwing this one out here? I mean, I like the fight. You're not wrong, dude. But why are we just throwing it out there? I'm 34, not the youth. Well, fair enough, Robbie. I mean, I can understand why you wouldn't like Eminem. You know, but it's music. It's subjective. If he's lip syncing, then he's not actually speaking. Genius. Oh, that is true. God damn. Scrubs is a go-to show. I absolutely loved Scrubs. Dougie could be a special guest on Queer Eye for the Striker. Thanks, Nacho. Appreciate that, mate. Very funny. Good on you, Nacho. My mod, everybody. Black Skinhead would be so yay to walk out to. We could walk out to that one as well. Robbie, you're old. Sorry, mate. Yeah, being over 30, you're old. Somebody said music here is Harambe. Lane, I want to fight you for Giuliano. Even if they're in discussions for the White House card, low chance it actually happens. Only industry plants think it's real. That's not true, MMA Joey. That's not true at all. So Ariel Helwani thinks it's going to be happening. So does James Lynch, who is going to be thinking that it's happening. Dana White is trying to sell it like it is absolutely happening. Like Dana White and Donald Trump both need a win. Dana White's been embarrassed by Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, and Donald Trump has been embarrassed by not releasing the list that he is on, there is a very real chance that this does happen. Plus, it is for UFC 250, where they're going to be putting on a bunch of special events to celebrate America's birthday. So, yeah, Toad, it's not insane that it's going to happen at all, man. Maybe with all this Harambe... Epstein is on the main card of the White House card. No, that would be putting Epstein on a list, and we can't do that these days. The White House card will be Poirier's return. Could be. You could walk out with a song called Take a Chance on Me. I could walk out on that one, Andrew. The other day you said it was too much of a push for Wellmaker, but I disagree. Did I say that the other day? Well, I've changed my mind, mate. I've bloody changed my mind. He spoke for Camilla. He does okay. Volk, Holland, Marab. We are just a few fighters we can guarantee would never pull out, even with an injury for the White House card. There you go, not the AM, bro. Now you're thinking like the UFC. This card can't go wrong. An old crackhead is walking Dustin out into the arena. Very true, Robbie. What's up, Justin? Dougie was on Raw for his drag. I watched that show once. It was fucking haunting. Laura Murphy on the co-main for the White House card. No. Mr. Toad just says pineapple, plant, industry plant. Mr. Toad just says plant, industry plant. Who am I? An industry plant? You calling me the industry plant? The well-known plasterer with 3,000 subs on YouTube is the MMA industry plant? No. Paul, I'd come out to drive slow. Black Skinhead would be hype as fuck. Yeah, I'd come out to Black Skinhead. That one's fucking awesome. Lucky Trump isn't going to MMA at all. Don't know what you mean. Dougie, would you walk out to It's Raining Men? No. America's birthday will be ruined by Where's the List chance. Yes, true, Liam. That's what they should be. Until the list drops, every time Trump starts talking, you should just start chanting, Where's the list? Where's the list? Where's the list? Scrubs is the best. Scrubs is really good. Did you know America is 250 years old and has done 250 to 400 military operations so far, and they say that it's not an empire. Watch Kayla Harrison versus Nunes be the main event of the White House card. Absolutely not going to happen. Can we get suggestions for relevant walkout music for the White House card? Yes, Daniel, we should absolutely do a tier list of songs for relevant walkout music. That is so true. Oh my god. Facts, it'll bring the system to a halt. They have to, mate. They absolutely have to. Right. Manel Kape is the next one up on today's news. Manel Kape. I fucking hate Manel Kape. I hate Manel Kape. Alright, here we go. Desktop audio. Boom. Turn that off. Manel Kape. Where are we at? That is a... There we go. We'll go up like that. Manel Kape says Joshua Van is not on his level. This is Manel Kape, who was in there with Movsar Evloev, the other one that got banned. Manel Kape, who had to eye poke his way to a win. I hate Manel Kape.
He's not on my level, and everybody that say that he could do something to me is just or he hate me, or you wanna see me lose, or they are just fanatics. They don't see the comprehension. They don't see the reality of the fight. That's the reality. That's the reality. This kid ain't gonna do nothing. Like, fortunately or unfortunately, is not at my level.
You said you could do whatever you want with him. What would you want to do to him? What would your plan be?
I can do whatever we want to him, like in a fight. Well, yeah. Like everything.
God. Manel Kape got outstruck by Muhammad Mokaev. I know, Toad. I know. Manel Kape is fucking embarrassing. He is embarrassing, dude. I'm sick of pretending Manel Kape's a sick little fighter just because he said the fucking F word. I'm sick of Manel Kape and his bullshit. I'm sick of his pullouts. I'm sick of his gyno. I'm sick of his cheating. I'm sick of him acting like he's all fucking hands. I'm sick of him. The list is on supplying those underage. Yep. Tim, you know I'm not going to read all of that out, but I like it, mate. For the White House card, power easily. Yeah, you got to imagine having all that power at the White House card. That has to be on there. Jon Jones is pulled out and Tom Aspinall can't find an opponent. Nunes versus Harrison will be promoted to the main event. Dana White 2020. This is going to be a badass card showing the progressivism of America. An immigrant getting beaten up by an American roid-abusing transvestite. This is America 2050. Well-known plasterer and formerly not well-known Freemason. I'm not a Freemason anymore, not the AM, bro. While people are arguing about the Epstein list, they're forgetting how much more important things are being swept under the rug, like Danny Barlow's next bloody fight announcement. That's right, it's a big conspiracy to hide the greatness that is Danny Barlow. What's up, Lantern? How are you, man? I live in a city, so I know exactly how Dustin is going to feel with a crackhead following him to work. Yes, that's how it is in Melbourne, too. People forget, man. Dreams, Kraus fucked Laura Sanko. There you go, Jim. It's hard not to... had it not been for the list thing, the White House card would be 100% happen. But now it's in huge jeopardy due to his own base turning on him. That's what makes me think the White House card is going to happen even more, Eric. Because you distract your base with bread and circuses, and the base are MMA fans. I'm good too, mate. Just doing an MMA live stream. Kape has pulled out of 11 fights since 2020. I hate him. Surely Kape has no kids with that pull-out game. That is true. At least he's a single dad. Umar Costa Chimaev are just a few of the names that could be the warming bench for the White House event. Umar Costa Chimaev are just a few names that could be on the warming bench for the White House event. They could be Ron Olk. I mean, everyone's right. We do need to see... if White House is going to happen at July, we need to see the landscape of MMA at the end of February to know who's available, who's booked, who's not booked. Manel Kape sub-threatening to molest. Manel Kape sublimity threatening to molest Van. I don't think it was subliminal at all, mate. He straight up said, if one man can take you down, two men. You will be disqualified from the match. True, Andrew. Manel Kape is the flyweight Strickland. Exciting at press conference and outside of the octagon, but he's ass inside of it. OTM, that is such a good way of describing Manel Kape, brother. Thank you, Northwest, for becoming a member for 5 months, bro. I really appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you so much, Northwest. Shout out to Northwest, guys. If you want to catch his live streams, make sure to go and click on his channel name right there on the members section and go give Northwest a shout out. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you. Yeah, OTM, that is such a good way of describing Manel Kape. He's just a Sean Strickland. He's a flyweight Sean Strickland, and I'm fucking sick of Sean Strickland, and I'm fucking sick of Manel Kape, dude. What do you do, brother? What do you do, huh? The key line for the White House card is no one man should have all that power to come on to... I get it, Larry. I understand. I hear it. I get it. I got it. I love it. I heard differently, bro. What do you need to kill someone to become a Freemason? I heard differently, bro. What did you need to do to kill someone to become a Freemason? No, I didn't need to kill anyone to become a Freemason. No. My dad was a Grand Lodge master and I just became a Freemason. I went to 3 meetings and then I pulled out like Manel Kape on a fight night card. Islam or Khabib? Khabib. Nice topic, nice content, bro. I make 2 MMA fights 3 years ago. Nice one, Lantern. Which promotion did you fight in? He has no kids. Oh, so at least he's a single man. I screwed that one up, Justin Kennedy. There you go, dude. Imagine everyone storming the UFC White House event. Oh my god, they'd have to use pepper spray and rubber bullets. America. I was gifted for 5 months. Well, still Northwest. At least you got gifted, dude. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you anyway, guys. And still go and support Northwest channel. I always use boxing and I hate jiu-jitsu. Sounds fucking based, Lantern. No worries. Thanks whoever gifted me 5 times. Well, shout out to whoever did the gifted membership. You were never a Freemason, bro. You proved that by not denying one of their 3 main books. It is the Quran. Well, maybe I just didn't get that deeply into it, Tim. All the weirdos are going to protest the storm in White House the night of the UFC, even if the event actually happens. I don't think they're actually going to storm the White House the night that the event actually happens. I'm sure they'll be using the sonic frequency guns to keep the weirdos at bay. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, hence my name. Very true, Northwest. Kape has a style to look impressive when he fights bums, but he is not that great against solid competition. I agree completely with you on this one, Toad. Very true. No one man should have all them shekels. Do you have a duck, Dougie? No. What's the joke here? You're affiliate. What's the joke here? 2 smelly fingers. Masons are Satanists. Were you seriously a Mason? They're not Satanists. They're not Satanists either. Yes, I was a Mason. I went to 3 meetings. What is your current relationship? Why did you decide to step away from Freemasonry? I've got nothing to do with Freemasonry. It was bloody boring. You know about the Freemasons? I do know about the Freemasons. Yes, my dad was a Grandmaster. Where am I at on the chat? Dougie always making sure he lets the new people know that he was a Freemason once. They asked, Chris. They asked. Can you rejoin the Freemasons and ask why Masada has the FTA list? No, I can't be bothered with him, mate. Do you like Whittaker over Strickland? Do I like Robert Whittaker over Sean Strickland? Yes, I do, Andrew. I think Robert Whittaker will be able to blast a double leg and take him down. The upper echelon of the Freemasons are all... It's a thing. I can believe that. I just scrolled down by accident and there was some dumb bitch yapping. Well, if she scrolls up, she'll think there's some dumb dickhead yapping. Dougie is Serbian. I'm absolutely not Jewish. Dougie, we're Jew. Well, I'm not a Jew. What was that noise? That's the Ariel Hawani noise. I'm counting my shekels. Pepper spray and rubber bullets. You guys forget the pace of ear. He lost an innocent man that was behind him. Ain't no warning shot. That is true, Lane. They do it differently in America. That's a good point, mate. That's a very good point. What did they talk about at the meetings? They were literally talking about what an honor it was to work on an old steam train. That's when I knew that the secrets to the universe were not here. They're one of the ones at the top of Satanists, the low-level Masons. No, I can believe that, not so West. Sorry, Dougie, I was mentioned above a consistent injury and always have some reasons to ruin an event. Kostya Chimaev Cap, that's why they're the bench. That's right, Kostya Chimaev Cap. They're the ones that are sitting out. They are just fucking horrible for events, Ronok. We cannot trust Costa. I don't even believe that Costa's going to rock up to UFC 318, even though he's already done his press conference. Have you ever eaten suck? No. What are you saying, 2 smelly fingers? What are you saying? People think the Freemasons is something completely different to what they actually are. Yeah, I think the publicly facing Freemasons are very different to the upper levels, the ones that truly control eating it. Have you ever eaten duck? Yes, I love duck. Duck is delicious. I love eating duck. I have eaten duck. I love eating duck. I'm a YouTuber, so it's hard. I do respect, mate. I do respect and make content like you do. A nice one, Len. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it completely, dude. Thank you so much, dude. Dougie is a brother. Dougie is not a brother. Aren't Freemasons just a rich man club? Yeah, it's just a rich man's club. Yep. Dougie, don't hide from our heritage. I'm not Jewish. Facts. You got to touch the goat to get into the Freemasons club within the club. I'm not even joking. I can believe that. Dougie, I'd still follow you if you told us I'm not Jewish. I'm not Jewish. Freemasons is just a frat boy club for people who read. They insist that you believe in a god. That's right. They just want you to believe in a god. What's up, Capatheus? Good to see you, dude. Dougie, I still follow you. I'm not Jewish. According to a mate who left Masonry too, you're not considered a Mason until you do your 3rd degree and are taught about astrobiology and your council rate. Well, there you go. So I guess I wasn't truly in. I guess got into the first door. Back in a minute. Fair enough, dude. All right, cool. Have we caught up on everything that I wanted to talk about in today's live stream? We did that one. We did Bryce Mitchell's story. We did Tony Ferguson versus Sol Pappy. Beautiful, mate. We've done everything that we wanted to talk about. Nice. Nice. Not bookmarks. We'll go to home. Is there any new MMA news? And then Jon Jones explains why he decided to come out of retirement. Oh my god, he's such a goddamn fucking cunt. Theo Vaughn. Dustin Poirier tells Theo Vaughn he doesn't believe in extending for sex before fight. No, I think we've caught up on all the MMA news. We're going to start a tier list. The best striker of all time tier list. Who is the best striker of all time? This is the tier list that we're going to do today. Who is the best striker of all time? Let me read some chats. This is the conversation that we're going to be having today. Steam Train is a code for something else. It absolutely isn't. Masons know how the earth is flat. They do know that the earth is flat. It's in the Bible, brother. You got to use discernment. He's Zionist, not Jewish. I'm absolutely not Zionist, that's for sure. Be like a rich man's golf. That's exactly what it is, Liam. If you didn't go blindfolded and have an experience with a goat, you don't get permanently initiated. I was blindfolded, but there was no goat. But I was blindfolded. They actually have a synagogue. Yeah, that's true. White House got security. They got security cameras. When nonsense people walk into the area, they will hold them back, not allowed to be there. Yeah, I agree, Andrew. I absolutely agree. Dougie, wink twice if you're on this list. No, Cheddarhead. Alex P has not fought any good strikers to prove that he's the best striker in MMA. Only one good striker was Izzy, and he went 1-1 in MMA. Asian, that's a very good argument to make. However, Alex Pereira is a double glory kickboxing champion. Outboxed Yuri Prohaska. Yeah, no, I don't. I disagree. Alex Pereira has absolutely shown that he's a very good striker. Old men talking nonsense all day. That is the Freemasons. Damn, Dougie's been flexing for years. He's been a Freemason, but was never actually one. I know if I never touched the goat, I wasn't one. Guys, press the like button. Don't forget to sub. Thank you, Lanton. I really appreciate that, dude. Mod Lanton. Why don't you show us the cousin pics? Yes. No. They cut your hair, they blindfold you with a goat. Some say they ask for a drop of blood. So they blindfolded me and put a sword up to my chest, but there was no goat and there was no blood. But they did blindfold me and put a sword up to my chest. I'm a 33-year-old top fan. I'm a Mason. You're a Mason now, Northwest. Dougie Scorner holds the record for the most fights to and from Little St. Jack. What are you talking about, Justin Kennedy? Thomas Manel retired Jon Jones without even fighting him. Never forget, man. Jon Jones ran away from Tom Aspinall. Dougie is Jewish. Look at the Grayson. He said, I'm not Jewish. Stephen Thompson's absolutely going on the list. But you don't know when they're through to very similar college hazing. Yeah, it's a college hazing. That's all it is, mate. It has to be Anderson. He's the best combination technique, sparrer, and speed. Well, I don't know if Anderson is the best ever, man. Everyone knows Scientology is Scientology is the best religion for sure. People forget, man. Benson Henderson was a different breed of fighter. I am Dougie. I'm serious. I believe that the earth is flat, and I have since 2015. There you go, Northwest. Northwest is a believer in the flat earth. It's easy, bro. Out of all time in MMA, it's Anderson Silva. I don't know if it is Anderson Silva. No globalist will convince me otherwise. Fair enough, Northwest. Believe what you want to believe. 2 smelly gulps. Whoa, Ronald. Calm down. I eat Vaseline. Disgusting, Brandon Marshall. Space is fake. Space is fake. You heard it here first, boys. Turn to Christ, the one and true loving and compassionate God. Based, Jim. Based. The Flat Earth Theory, alright. What's up, Sniff? Good to see you, dude. How are you, brother? How are you, man? Dougie got the files, I'm sure of it. I'm part of the elite. I'm the elite of the elite. When Dougie initiates you, he blindfolds you and puts his dick on your chest. That's how, that Nacho knows, that's how you become a member of Dougie's Corner. That's actually what a membership is, mate. Do we need to get into Christianity? We're not going into Christianity. Dougie's the one. If you join the Templars, you can't learn to use a sword. I don't believe that at all. You look like the main character in UFC 300. Like Leonidas? Based, mate. Thank you. Did you know Christianity was... Alright, here we go. Cool. 8 finishes in a row, 8 fights, weight classes. Anderson's absolutely going on the list, Nacho. I don't know if he's the best, though, dude. The level of Earth is obviously not flat. No, I'm saying not the level of it. You're saying that we don't live on a sphere. We live on a flat plane with mountains and scopes on it. Best religion is Islam? No, it's Christianity. Of course it's Christianity. Never did Dougie get a bigger heart on him when they got that sword to his chest. Mate, I was like Conor McGregor lifting weights. What's up, Jason Guts? How are you, dude? Question me about the next time you join my stream, Smelly. I'll get into it. Bro, what is the best fighter? Is Muslim, Mike Tyson, Ali? Not in MMA, though. Like in MMA, the best fighter ever is Mighty Mouse, who's Christian. So there you go. Turn to God, boys. Christianity is peak. No, Christianity is the answer, Sniff. That's how you get into the legend chord. Let Dougie show you his unit. True. Mike Tyson has a commie tattoo. Disgusting and absurd from Mike Tyson. We are furious at him. Absolutely bloody furious at him. Right, let's get this tier list going, boys. Who is the best striker of all time? Of all time. People are going to want to say Anderson Silva. I don't know if it is Anderson Silva. That's a spicy debate right there. Here's our tier list. Bang. All right, sick. So now we can switch over to Twitter and we can go over to Canva and we can get this tier list going. The best MMA striker of all time. Stephen Thompson's going on there. Lyoto Machida. Best striker of all time. Oh shit, I've screwed this up completely. Oh no, I've got to make it big like this. That's what Conor McGregor said. Let's reset this transformation. Transform. Reset. Let's start again. Let's start this again, chat. Sorry, I screwed it up because I didn't have it nice and big. That's what Azalea Banks... That's what Conor McGregor said to Azalea Banks. I screwed it up because I didn't have it nice and big. I got to get heavy weights in there. There we go. That's better, chat. That's how you do it. Let me read some chats to catch up. It's round, but it's not spherical. Round like a pizza or a plate, but not spherical like a basketball. I get the picture that you're painting, Northwest. Shout out to Jesus in the chat. Christian values can easily be incorporated into the modern world. Yep. Although, you know, they're the ones with the correct birth rates. Muslims don't want to admit Muhammad would have been on the list. When people start glazing Christianity, Sniff magically appears. I know, it's a real superpower of Sniff. All time, I'd say Pereira. Pereira's right up there, dude. At least we think God is in pretty good. All religion is delusional. Jesus never claimed to be God. I love how you just abandon a sentence halfway through and make up the rest of it. It's what I have to do to say saying two smelly fingers. Early birds get the stream. Early birds get the stream. What's up, Mr. C? No work today. So we're streaming, brother. We're having a stream. We're having a stream. Are we talking about pure technique or technique and power? Well, we did a poll. So remember, chat, we did a poll and technique is 75% more valued than power. So that's what we're going to be saying. Who has the best striking technique-wise? So, best striker of all time. This is going to be best... Why is it not typing? Why are you not fucking typing? Best UFC striker of all time. Best UFC striker of all time. There can only be 5 people in the A tier. There can only be 2 people in the S tier. Best UFC striker of all time, the tier list. This is how we're going to be doing it. Lucas Tracy, Arman Sarukian. Great fight last night. You barely got a scratch on you. Thank you, Mr. C. I appreciate it, mate. Hot take, I'm a Pereira fan, but there is a lot of bad habits, and I would say technique-wise, Pereira doesn't have the best technique. He is really, really good. Pereira is really, really good. It's Anderson Silva. I know the old heads are going to say it's Anderson Silva. Silva, Max, Connor, Izzy. Izzy goes in there, man. Aldo goes in there. These guys, they go in there, dude. They absolutely go in there. I don't want to live in this fallen society. I'm being a homeless person, no, slaving my way for crumbs. Hopefully I get unalive. No, not Northwest, don't wish that you get unalive. Just enjoy the journey of being alive. You never know where life is going to take you. Just enjoy the journey, dude. I asked how was your relationship with your daddy after you broke up from the Freemasons. Sorry, Eric. It's fine. Me and my dad have an amazing relationship. It's absolutely fine. TRT Vitor is number 1. Oh, Ilya and Silva both in the S tier. Not a bad little take there, dude. Not a little bad take there. Pereira gets hit clean too much, but Pereira also does a lot of clean hitting, right? Like Anderson got hit clean as well, right? Like they all get hit. Does Leon Edwards deserve a conversation? Leon Edwards has been in there. Volk will go in there. Hard choke, you can bring up some contenders. Pereira lacks some defense. He's very open at times. He is open at times. That is true. Yeah. GSP, Tom, Aspinall, Islam, and Volk. GSP is more of a wrestler than one of the best strikers. No. GSP, I don't know, dude. Best striker would be the guy with the most variations and finishes by number. That's a very scientific way of looking at it, two smelly fingers. It's okay, Dougie, I've been around a long time. I'm good with expiring today or tomorrow, but life still has so much more to offer, not the AM, bro. Colby Covington, best striker ever, and it's not even close, man. You don't even look like you were in a boxing match last night. Amazing. Who was pretending to be me in this boxing match, Mr. C? Who was pretending to be me? Every time Izzy throws a right hand, it lands on Alex Pereira. All right, I'm extremely Asian. Dougie, do you have a topology group where we can share our picks for the cards? I don't. Jim is trying, but I should set one up, man. Absolutely. Leon is down at F tier. Good on you guys. Wasn't trying to make fun. I was actually curious, especially from that to orthodoxy. Oh, no, fair enough, dude. No, me and my family are very tight. We have a very close, very good family. Me, my dad, my brother, and my mother have a very good family. It's just the cousins that I don't get along with because they're retarded leftists. Yeah, but Anderson was retarded and showboated a lot. That is true. Stay away from those old Mason men. Yep, that is true. Anderson, Pereira are S tier. Ilya, Wonderboy, Yair, Machida are A tier. Prime Jon Jones is B tier. Interesting. We're going to talk about Prime Jon Jones, are we? Aspinall has some very fast striking. Aspinall has some very, very fast striking. Leon Edwards is a C tier. I reckon Leon Edwards is around C tier. I mean, we're only going to have 5 people in the A tier and 2 people in the A tier. So the best striker in boxing would be Derek Lewis. I don't know about the stats for the best striker. Derek Lewis has to be considered, unironically, has slept the most people, right? Lyoto the Dragon Machida. Derek Lewis does need to be considered somewhere on this list. He absolutely needs to be considered somewhere on this list. Get JDM on there. JDM absolutely needs to be on here, Justin Kennedy. Anderson Silva is the most overrated striker. Never schooled any one of his important best wins. Pereira, but what the fuck are you saying? Tyler the Fish says, Anderson Silva is the most overrated striker in my opinion. Never schooled anyone. Of importance, his best wins are Pereira. He also lost to him. Whitaker with the rematch. Tyler, you're gonna need to retype that sentence, brother. You're absolutely gonna need to retype that sentence. That is not making any sense, man. Why is my screen freezing? Come on, screen. Stop freezing. Brian Stan has got to be up there. No, not Brian Stan. Edson Barboza, brutal kick. Stephen Thompson, karate style, true. Dustin Poirier, clean boxing. Piotr Jan. Piotr Jan's in the conversation. Piotr Jan's absolutely in the conversation. Izzy's in the conversation. Absolutely is in the conversation. We know that was you, Dougie. Don't know what I did. Francis, Kimbo Slice, Conor McGregor, and Tony. Ooh, I like that. Kimbo Slice. I don't know if Kimbo Slice makes it in because Kimbo Slice is really just effectiveness. You know what I mean? I want to leave, but I can't right now. Fair enough, dude. I just got here from Verticals. What is this channel about? Yumjoy, you've been here before. Stop it. Serbian Jews, keep the family tight. We're not Jews, but yes, we keep the family tight. MMA channel, true. Leon is trash. He made his money now that he's a good... So if you're not going to consider Leon Edwards during his prime, you can't consider Anderson Silva during his prime. Like, Leon Edwards was a fucking madman during his prime. He's also from Mersey. Box last night, and you literally look like... Thank you, Sniff, for the $2, dude. I really appreciate it, man. Sniff says, I'm trying to get the money screen to work. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and a... Not true, Sniff. Not true, but thank you so much for the money, dude. I really appreciate it, man. Well, way to get me to read out hatred about me Lord and Savior. Well done, Snifferton. Hot take. Brock Lesnar could have been one of the best strikers of all time if only he took some time to work on his training properly and have some good defense. Not a crazy take, right? Because the wrestling does open up the striking. The problem with Brock Lesnar is he didn't want to get stuck in striking exchanges because he didn't want to get hurt. 5 people in A tier and 5 people in A tier was truly a Dougie Ortiz moment. 2 people in S tier, 5 people in A tier. We're talking about technique and not power, then Strickland has to be up there. Strickland will have a shout out for sure. We can put Strickland in as part of the conversation. Maybe an F tier though. Maybe down an F tier. Maybe down an F tier. Chael Sonnen, no question, man. Who have we ever seen use the jab and Superman punch as good in MMA since or before? Are you talking about fucking Kimbo Slice, brother? I was talking about Adesanya. Right, Adesanya. Sorry, Tyler. That's my mistake. Sorry, dude. My bad, mate. Get Matt Brown on there. He was a monster. Check out his fight with Paul Still. This is why we need the old heads in here to remember the Matt Brown era of fights. This is why we need the old heads in here. Very good, dude. Get Matt Brown in there. Ilya, the Spanish fella. Ilya's in here somewhere. We got Ilya in here somewhere. These are just placeholders down here. Ilya's in here. Retarded typing mixed with dyslexic reading equals a holocaust on the English language. Not wrong, dude. Not wrong at all. Thomas Uma, Bo Nickel. Where am I at? Had that defense and some things been worked on, Brock might have been one of the best. He could have, dude. He could have. But again, it all stems from that's a real what if now. Like, if only that's a real. You could say that about any fighter, right? Like, if only they had focused on this or focused on that. Who else is in the S tier other than Joshua the Legend Van? Just put Gron Gracie in S tier and walk away. Cinema. Kimbo sucked. Kimbo kind of sucked. Chael Sonnen, no question. Sniff dropping the knowledge. Sniff dropping the lies of Adam Green. Anderson has an upward elbow. KO, a front kick TKO. Knees via the clinch. Matrix KO versus Forrest. KO'd Bisping via flying knee. Bisping won, I know. There are just levels. Look, I agree. Anderson Silva is right up there. Anderson Silva is absolutely right up there, man. I don't disagree. Let's talk about Jon Jones in his prime. Hail Odin, this is the way. There you go. Two smelly fingers are shouting out his religion. Sniff, good stuff about things. Good person, just so you know, Dougie. I know Sniff very well, dude. I'm a Makita guy. Me too, Weston. Jesus is literally the king. Alright, cool. Anthony Pettis with his Superman punch. True. Look how smart I am. We want Volk. Volk will be on here. Read mine before I burn it. Volk will be on here. Don't worry. We'll get Volk on here. Relax. Real ones know Shara Bullet is A tier. Shara Bullet is absolutely not A tier. He's literally blind and has no depth perception. Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. Based 305 chunks. You missed my comment about GSP above that comment. Sorry, Chris. Fuck, there's too many to go through now. Please retype it again if you want me to read it out in its fullest, Chris, please. DDP? No, not DDP. MVP is probably S tier with Anderson Silva. You cannot put MVP fucking S tier, mate. You cannot put MVP in S tier. You cannot, dude. Brendan Allen, Paulo Costa, Islam, Ilya. We'll put Max Holloway in here. We've got JDM. He'll go in here. Moicano, no. Piotr Jan, Bobby Green, no. Chris Curtis, no. Robert Whittaker, no. No. Diego Lopez, Rob Font, no. I don't think Rob Font makes it onto the list. He's pretty good, but we're talking about all time. We're talking about all-timers. There's Volk. We'll talk about MVP. We'll talk about Volk. We'll talk about MVP. We'll talk about Francis Ngannou. We'll talk about no, wrong photo for Francis. We'll get him out of there. Who else are we going to talk about? We're not going to talk about Shavkat. We're not going to talk about Ian Gary. Let me just see some names here. Dan Henderson, Mighty Mouse. I'm just looking at some names here, chat, and then we'll get into some real discussion. We've done Jon Jones. We've done Buckley. We're out of here with the faces and the names. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is one of the GOATs of all time. Absolutely. Lyoto Machida has to be on this list. Absolutely has to be on this list. Lyoto Machida. Vanderlei. What now? I think that'll maybe do us to get the conversation going and rolling. I think that's all the names we need to have right now to get the conversation going. Big Ben Rothwell, Don Fry. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I think this will get us going. I think this is a nice setup. I like this. I like where we're at right now with the names that I'm seeing in front of me. This is good stuff. And now I'm getting into my more recent era. Alright, cool. Let's have a read of some chats. MVP is probably S tier with Anderson. We're not putting MVP a fucking S tier. That's insane. Darren Till, probably S tier. No bias at all. Absolutely not Darren Till. No, come on now, guys. Absolutely not Darren Till at all. About how he's one of the best strikers of all time, even though he was more of a grappler. He had a go-to jab, head kick, and a Superman punch. Oh, you're talking about GSP, how he was one of the best strikers of all time. Yeah, it's weird to think of GSP as one of the best strikers of all time. I don't know if I can do that, Chris, right? Prime Jon Jones on trend. Prime Jon Jones on trend is certainly one of them, for sure. There was a boxer from Melbourne last night on the Sonny Bill versus Paul Green named Chris Tazelev, and you look exactly the same. Why do you want the chat to know that? Why don't you want the chat to know that you're a boxer? Because I'm not Chris Tazelev, but thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Chat being super gay and forgetting about Dougie's Corner official religion is the Dark Lord Ben Rothwell. Could Anthony Johnson make the... Could Rumble Johnson make the cut? Maybe. Yeah, Rumble's absolutely up there. Nobody's using a Superman punch or winning a fight with a jab just as well as GSP did it. Sniff says it feels good to be the Antichrist. I know, Sniff. You cruise around MMA YouTube just being the Antichrist everywhere. Jim Miller is the peak striker in the UFC. 48 finishes. You're bloody welcome. Hello Akbar, DDP might not be S tier, but he deserves to be on the list. DDP is so sloppy and messy, and 74% of us said that technique was the most important thing, and now we want to put DDP on the list? People forget, man, MVP beat S tier Shara Bullet in a crafty chess match, man. Shara Bullet is not fucking S tier. He has depth perception. He is not S tier just because he was able to do a couple of rounds with... What's his name? Egg your hands, mate. JDS. I'll take my prize now, mate. Well done, 2 smelly fingers. Francis Ngumbu, he's in there. Imagine, right, Dong, Silver, Ruffy. Yeah, we'll get them in there. Let's talk about who we have right now. DC was good at striking in the clinch. DC was very good at striking in the clinch. But I don't think we can put DC on some of the best strikers of all time right now. You know what I mean? JDM's in there. I feel good to live in the reality of the scripture says. Conor McGregor's in here. Yep, Conor's in here. One of the best strikers of all time who got put out by Matt Bloody Sarah. It was a one-off fight. Just because you lose one fight doesn't mean you're out of the conversation of the best of all time, right? Just because you lost one fight. Dougie's Jewish if he doesn't show us his foreskin right. Shut up, Robbie Santos. Leave a cookie jar around children. Make it Max. Where am I at? Shara Bullet is wildly overrated. I know, it's insane, dude. It's insane how wildly overrated Shara Bullet is. Pettis KO'd Wonderboy with the Superman punch. He did it better than GSP. Pettis can go in there. Yeah, for sure we can chuck Pettis in here. Anderson and DJ are S tier. DJ Demetrius Johnson as an S tier striker. Interesting take, dude. Do we grade these fighters on who would be the best in a pure striking match? Yeah, we can do it that way, Mr. C. Wonderboy's down here. Wonderboy's in here. We'll bring him up one by one and we'll do votes. Yeah, but Dustin Poirier makes it work. He has a technique which is fast and DDP makes it work. He has a technique which is fast and unorthodox. If his technique was so bad, he would have had more losses. Oh, Yandy puts up a damn good argument, dude. We'll do, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do it poll style. Where's Max and Dustin? They'll get on here, mate. Dougie, I am going to start practicing sorcery. Do it, Sniff. Why not, mate? And then let's these angles. Fuck you and win. And then Jane, Silver, and Ruffy. Best of all time, Nacho? I don't know if we can justify putting them on a best of all time right now. You know what I mean? Carlos Condit striking was great. Alright, cool. So, let us begin. We can say that Leon Edwards is C tier. Who's the next one up out of the deck? Lyoto Machida. Now, I'm thinking B tier for Lyoto Machida. Now remember, there's only going to be 5 people in A tier, 2 people in S tier. So I'm thinking B tier for Lyoto Machida. What are we thinking about Lyoto Machida? I'm thinking B tier. He's very much a counter striker. B tier, Dominic Cruz. Machida is a high B tier. I'm thinking a high B tier as well. Sexy MMA, you're sexy, mate. I'm thinking a high B tier as well, Eric. Yeah, B tier. Alright, so we all seem pretty happy with Lyoto Machida going in at B tier. Alright, there doesn't seem to be too much arguing about that. Alright, cool. So high B tier for Lyoto Machida. Is one of the best strikers of all time. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now we're starting to understand, like, Leon Edwards is around to C tier, Machida's around to B tier. Now we're working. Machida had a good style, but not the best technique for the UFC. People caught on very quickly. I know, and it did take some, like, readjustment of the karate style to figure it out right. But now Wonderboy is having success with the karate style. So is Robert the Weird guy. I'm just going to grab a fork, boys, because I'm going to eat while we stream. I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab a fork and have a quick piss, and then we'll continue on with the tier list. I'll be right bloody back. Think about where these guys go on the tier list. I'll be right back. We're back from our break. All right, let's continue on. Can we make the Lucas Tracy tier list? Rafael Fiziev is S tier? No, absolutely not. Jeremy Stevens where? Oh, that's a good one, 297. That's a really good one. Terrible, absolutely terrible performance. I know, you guys didn't get the entire word out. Come on, guys, you got to do better than that. All right, Barboza. Was Barboza a better striker? Is Barboza a better striker than Lyoto Machida? I think Barboza has got a much more effective style and technique than Lyoto Machida. I think Lyoto Machida just sat back with his counterpunches, right? Terrible, absolutely terrible. For shame. I know, how did you not get the entire word out? The Frogs P standing up. Frogs do P standing up, Chris. Do we put Jose Aldo on the list? Before the Conor fight, he was so good. We absolutely put Jose Aldo on the list. Where is the shame? D tier? How are you saying that Barboza is D tier when I'm saying that he's better than Lyoto Machida and Lyoto Machida is in B tier? We need personalities in here. Now we do, Eric. The chat's changed so much. Barboza's better, right? We'll get to Anthony Pettis. We're doing one at a time, mate. We just started. Impression of Tony Ferguson pushing the boulder aside and yelling at the sky. Where's your kid at? There's no Jesus in here. Where's your kid at? Where's Tiramisu Jesus now? Connor's dumbbell versus Khabib's wife's tout. Shut up, damn, 209. Jesus Christ, mate. Barboza ain't a better striker than Machida. I reckon he is, old head. I reckon he's got a more diverse skill set. Edson Barboza KO'd Burgos with a ghost punch. It's S tier. I think he's way more dangerous and dynamic than Machida, yeah. No, we're not basing this off how much success you gained. We're basing this off who is the better striker, and we determined that striking is 79% skill-based. And I think Barboza has got a better skill set in striking than Lyoto Machida did. Not even left my room, you're faster. That's how I work, mate. Hey, sunglasses. That won a title. I understand that he won a title, but I'm not saying how much success you got with your skill. I'm saying who had a better skill, Nacho. Does being one-dimensional but success for a striker count? For an example, Nate's biking his A tier, but he doesn't have that much. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you can count count who was the better striker just because you won a title. You know, like winning a title comes down to Who was ahead of you at the time? The matchmaking. Who was the skill set at the time? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to say that Sean O'Malley is better than Lyoto Machida because he was able to defend a title successfully? And Lyoto Machida's first defense was essentially a robbery. Barboza might have had the fastest kicks at lightweight. I agree. I just opened my freezer and found the milkshake. I thought was it. Still drink it. Still drink it, Sniff. Do we have Tom on here? We'll get Tom on here, yeah. If you put them in a striking match, Machida takes Barboza. I think Barboza beats Machida. I don't think he falls for the traps. Barboza can't box. C tier. High above Machida. Barboza's overrated. Seems like we need a poll. Oh no, what have I done? Seems like we need a poll. Barboza. Machida. Who's better? Who's got a more diverse skill set of the striking? Edson Barboza or Lyoto Machida? Man, people forget, man. The low kicks of Lyoto Machida. People forget, man. Funny looking Mexican kid. Jon Jones never retired. He just sobered up. Look at his lawyer fees and said, damn, I got to get a check from somewhere. These lawyer fees are annoying to me. Remember that Dan Henderson? Remember Dan Henderson? Sean didn't defend versus a real contender. Essentially zero defense. But he still... Hang on. If we're going to say titles matter, Sean has one defense, right? With these recent losses, was he overrated or was he just... I think he was just washed, mate. I don't think Barboza was overrated. I think for where Barboza was at the time, he was very fairly rated and he just got old. Dominic Cruz and TJ Dillashaw should be on my list. They should, Sniff. I don't know, man. Machida almost took out Jon Jones with his money. Do you think he can't take Barboza? That's a good point. That's a good point. Watch the hooker fight. I think Barboza is more well-rounded and Machida is with that. I think Barboza is more well-rounded. I think Barboza is more well-rounded than Machida. How much money would it take for you to take one wheel kick by Prime Barboza? Oh, a mil? A mil? Live early. I know, Chris. What's up, dude? Good to see you, man. We've been live for like 2.5 hours, man. It's been a nice long live. 50-50. Oh my god. Is that Ruin Peas again? It is Ruin Peas again, yeah. What are we ranking? Best striker of all time. Right there, Chris. Says it right there, brother. Spill it. I'm not going to spill my Rue again, mate. Although I might. Who knows? 50-50. With Barboza slightly ahead. So... they are essentially both B tier, and Barboza is just ever so slightly ahead Lyoto Machida. Just ever so slightly ahead of Lyoto Machida. 50-50, there you go. With Barboza ever so slightly just taking the lead. Barboza had no hands. Machida could finish you with kicks, punches, elbows, whatever he wanted. Barboza had hands, man. He was just known for his kicks. If Machida could have fought Barboza, the Machida era would have lasted a lot longer. Make your room stink, you mad thing. No, absolutely not, mate. We're not going to spill my kangaroo meat again. So since we're talking counter-strikers, in the UFC, let's talk about Wonderboy. Now remember, we're only going to have 5 A-tier strikers. We're only going to have 5 A-tier strikers. We're only going to have 2 S-tier strikers. Now, surely, you guys, it's not crazy to say that Wonderboy is a better striker in MMA than Edson Barboza, right? Which puts him ahead of Lyoto Machida by default, right? Wonderboy for A-tier. There's only going to be 5 fighters in A tier. You want Wonderboy to be one of your top 5 fighters of all time. You want Wonderboy to be one of your top 5 of all time. Respect to Wonderboy. Wonderboy in A tier it is. Welcome to the top 5, Wonderboy. One of the top 5 strikers of all time is going to be Wonderboy. 5-0 in kickboxing speaks for itself. I like it. I like it a lot. There we go. Wonderboy's the first one into the top 5. You'll love to see it. Wonderboy 8 it. Not even Nacho's arguing with that one. Alright, so here's the big debate then. Where does MVP go? Where does MVP go? Pettis KO's Wonder Boy. I know, mate. I know. It's bloody. There you go. Low B tier. Wow. Wonder Boy just got robbed at welterweight. Put some respect on. I'm loving that the old Unk Wonder Boy is getting the respect Mr. C. I'm absolutely fucking loving it, dude. B tier, A tier. You can't put MVP in the top 5 strikers of all time. MVP is just under Wonder Boy. No, dude. There is a tier list I'm willing to let John have, actually being a cheater and a piece of shit to have no effect on his level of striking. Easily A tier. Jon Jones in the A tier if he wasn't a cheater and a piece of shit. I think it did have an effect on his striking, Capatheus. I think it made him sharper, helped him carry his cardio. Where does Pitbull go? He leg kick, left hook, KO'd MVP. Wonder Boy is in a good spot. I think Wonder Boy is in a good spot. So you guys seriously want to have... You guys aren't thinking long-term about the list. You guys are not thinking long-term about the list. There's going to be 5 people in A tier. And you want MVP to be one of the 5 people in A tier for one of the best strikers in the UFC of all time. There's no way, man. There's no way. MVP is a serious counter-striker. Wonder Boy actually offensively... I know, I think MVP's leagues ahead of Wonder Boy. We can always move stuff around, you bloody prat. I think he's B tier. I think he's B tier. I think he goes in B tier. I don't think he belongs in the top 5. I can believe B tier. You guys do not believe in delayed gratification. I know, it's adjust. We'll adjust later. C tier at best. I think low B tier. I think he belongs down here somewhere. Low B tier. Jon Jones is a saint. He helps a homeless man in the middle of the night. What have you ever done, Doug? That's true. I don't drive around in the middle of the night looking for broken old homeless men to be nice to. Even though there is a crack house near here, I'm sure I could figure something out. No, I'm saying the cheating and whatnot doesn't DQ him from this one. Basically, the striking was excellent. Okay, fair enough, Capatheist. Fair enough. I believe in Daedra. I'm edging right now. The top 5 are... Sorry, Sniff. Sorry, man. I missed you, man. Silva, Topuria, McGregor, JDM, and Lyoto Machida. Ooh, Anderson. I don't mind Anderson Silva being in the top 5. Topuria and McGregor are very good. JDM's an interesting one. JDM doesn't sleep people, though. Toad's right about JDM being a TKO merchant. Toad's right about JDM being a TKO merchant. And JDM isn't exactly creative striking either. Like, JDM is just good, clean boxing. But it is very effective, good, clean boxing. MVP is good, but not that good. That's what I mean. MVP is very good, but I think he's like a Temu Wonder Boy. Steroids do help you for the power, the speed, and the recovery, but steroids don't teach you the skills. That is true, Capatheus. Steroids don't teach you the skills. Yeah, that is true. Mark Hunter's in A tier. Oh, if his boxing was good, his nose would be straight. Shut the fuck up, Robbie. It was years ago. Oh, Robbie, you absolute prick. Oh, man. His speed carries his style. His speed does carry his style. JDM is C tier. He's probably a one-dimensional striker. MVP's well, MVP's a little bit more flashy. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Is this crazy? Am I having a fucking Lucas Tracy moment to put JDM behind MVP? Like, JDM is really, really good tight boxing, but it is just really good tight boxing. It's not creative and elusive. Yeah, Nacho, I think that's not a bad take, right? MVP is a better all-round striker than JDM, whereas JDM is like really effective with the few things that he does well, right? That's what I'm thinking here, Nacho. Why, Bilal? Why am I tripping? Why am I tripping that JDM belongs below MVP? I think he does belong below MVP. This is making me nauseous. Why, Jethead? How about this? JDM chins Lyoto Machida. So what if we do this? We do Lyoto Machida a little bit lower on the B tier. MVP, JDM, and Barboza higher. I'm being rage baited right now. How, Justin Kennedy? We're having a conversation. This isn't like Lucas Tracy where I just make a video and then move on. We're having a... What are you seeing that is rage baiting you right now so much, Justin Kennedy? Delete MVP's picture. I know, he's a fucking spanner in the works, isn't he? MVP is a real fucking spanner in the works, isn't he? MVP couldn't even win a title in Bellator, and you guys are putting him above your boy. The disrespect. Yeah, but hasn't MVP got more tools, a deeper skill set than JDM? We said technique. No, MVP's style is carried by his speed. Oh, that's a good point, Eric. Good point. JDM better boxer, but MVP is better all round. I think MVP is a horrible stylistic matchup for Jack. So do I, dude. So do I. What the hell? I love JDM. JVP is a human highlight reel. Kind of is. Get him out of my sight. I can't, dude. JDM is a better striker than MVP. JDM is going good at striking, but his takedown defense is what makes him win the fights. Beautiful scrambles. MVP fights like KSI. If Masvidal never got KO'd by Usman, we would be talking about him being a top 5. We would, mate. We would. Speed is part of his skill set. We answer. All right, so it's obviously time for a vote. It's obviously time for a vote. Here we go. So we're all fucking split down the middle. It's time for a vote. Developer tools. I don't want that. At MMA striking. MMA striking. JDM. MVP. Who wins the battle of the my name is too long, let's just make it 3 letters? Who wins the battle of the lazy 3-letter name? We're having a poll. We're having a strike off. We're having a strike off. Who wins? Who's better? Bring them both up. JDM versus MVP. This is annoying to me. This list is annoying to me. I don't want to argue about. This is when I wish I had alt account. I know, thank God Paradox isn't here right now. Yeah, Capatheus was saying who has the more striking skills. I think MVP has got a deeper tool bag than JDM. Yadev says it's not fair enough because that's to say if the others didn't juice, their striking wouldn't be as good. So why compare a juice guy with non-juiced? Should consider him now that he would have been not. We should consider him now that he would have been not. Well, he still learnt the skills, right? Like he still created the skills. You know what I mean? So we're not talking about technique then. MVP has hands down and his speed carries. I'm not against him being above JDM as a striker, but you just said the main thing is technique. Eric brings up a good point. MVP's technique is kind of insane. Like it is just hands down bouncing in and out. This is just a popularity contest now. I don't think so, Nacho, because we're like trying to come up with decent arguments to counter each one. It's so hard to compare their styles. I know, like, this is the problem with MVP. MVP is a fucking spanner in the works, man. Take your thoughts on Stiff talking in the middle of going on. I mean, Stiff can do whatever he wants, mate. MVP doesn't have the technique, but lacks the technicality. It's almost like DDP without the strength. Yep. I think MVP's sidekicks and blitzes fuck up JDM style, even though I love watching JDM. I love JDM as well. I love JDM. Can I come back to MVP and JDM? Can we come back to JDM? We can try and come back to it. Why are we speaking about Venom? I don't know. He keeps his hands down on purpose. It's part of his technique. He's baiting for the counters. This is what I'm saying. You see, Nacho, it's not just a popularity contest. Eric points out, where's the technique? He keeps his hands down. Capatheus goes, he's keeping his hands down on purpose. It's part of the technique. It's how he creates his counters. JDM is more powerful than MVP. He's good and he can learn better and he can fight amazing, but JDM is the best of all time, and Shamil the Blob Gaziev has to be in the S tier. I think boxing is rated higher than the kicks. You can crowd kicks, but punches work on the inside and the outside. On God, JDM is better. I guess I've seen enough JDM. It's insane to me that it's even a distraction. That is his technique. He's luring people in. I know, that's what I meant. Like, it is his technique. Alright, the chat says 62% of people think it's JDM. After hearing everyone's arguments, I disagree with the chat. I think MVP is better for striking in MMA than JDM. MVP can counter you and get a knockout and has more tools in his toolbox. JDM has very good, short, tight boxing, but JDM isn't sleeping cunts. MVP is sleeping cunts. MVP has got the style and the technique that creates better finishes in MMA than JDM. Chat is wrong. 62% of you are fucking wrong. But it does knock down Lyoto Machida and move up JDM. Boo! 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 Also, look at the results. MVP couldn't win a Bellator title. JDM is the UFC champ with his striking. That's a good point. Sex boxing. Yes, MVP is a better striker. I think MVP is a better striker. Who wins in striking matchups? So JDM or MVP? I think MVP would win. I think the style would kill him. Tomatoes in the chat. Tomatoes in the chat. What is the fucking point of the poll if you're not going to honor the poll? Just to help sway my argument, Justin Kennedy. It helped sway my argument with Wonderboy with the last one that we did. Everyone who plays that eventually gets chinned, but he hasn't gotten chinned. Based Froggy, thank you, Nacho. I appreciate it. Where's my jacket? I'm leaving. This is bullshit. Lucas Tracy ass poll. Lucas Tracy ass poll. Let's move on. Now I'm gonna say something about Max Holloway. I'm gonna say a hot take about Max Holloway. The fact that Max Holloway has got the record for the most absorbed Heb strikes makes him dog shit at striking. He's not the best striker in the UFC. He's dog shit at striking. He's about to rage bait us on Holloway. I'm not about to rage bait. I'm about to be 100% sincere. How can you be good at striking if you hold the record for the most absorbed head strikes in MMA? Dougie has CTE. Max is B, better defense, but offense is great. Is it? Is it great? He's getting beaten up by Dustin Poirier. He's getting destroyed by Volkanovski. He's getting pieced up by Ilia Topuria. Max throws a hell of a lot of strikes. He does throw a hell of a lot of strikes. Read comment before the last two. Will do too, Smelly Fingers. Sorry, dude. Points for being honest. But everyone who plays that game eventually gets chinned. That is true. Boxers do that too. It's easy to move your trunk upper body with your hands by your side. Yeah, it's easy to bounce in and out with your hands down by your side. That is true. He literally is just using his head to block literally, he just uses his head to block punches. Max Holloway is D tier. He also held the record for the most strikes landed at several points. D tier Holloway. Max is not the best striker. He has a good chin and he has good combos. Max couldn't box eggs. Max might not be the best, but he should be on the list. He should be on the list. But I think Max Holloway is C tier. I think by the time we see all the phenomenal strikers that are on this list, I think Max Holloway is a C tier striker. Never found anyone who shared the same opinion until now. Max is not close to the greatest. I know. I'm the best boxer, baby, while getting hit in the face. That's Max is C tier. Max is C tier. When we look at all the people that are going to be on there, Max is C tier. Damn C tier. He's C tier. Max is C tier. Max is C tier. Sorry, it is what it is. Max is, it is what it is, baby. It is what it is. DJ Aiden on the stream. What's up, Christine? I think Machida is C tier, to be honest. We'll see. We'll see how the list pans out. Who do we do next? Let's do Derek Lewis next. Where's the boss? Where's the Dark Lord, Ben Rothwell? JDM needs to be lower? No, JDM doesn't need to be lower. Most knockouts in UFC history. Carries these knockouts into the third and the fourth round. FT can't be F tier. He's got the most knockouts in UFC history. It's like punching Nate Diaz. You're helping him win. DJ Aiden, someone said he was... Is DJ Aiden actually in here? DJ, Derek Lewis has got the most knockouts in the UFC's history. That has got to count for something. Justin Kennedy goes, if you put Lewis above Holloway, I'm going to lose my fucking shit. We're going to need a bigger belt. Is that Derek Lewis? We're going to need a bigger belt. So power counts, but not speed. It all comes together. Lewis is less powerful than Francis. C tier. Where do we put Derek Lewis? He got KO'd by Tai Tuivasa. Lewis would sleep Holloway. Lewis would sleep Holloway. Max might eat shots, but put it this way. Put him in a striking match. He doesn't sleep often after eating all those strikes, and he can put you to sleep. He's so good. Max is good. Max is damn good. Volkov of a Wonderboy. D tier minimum. A tier. Mate. It's the best strikers tier list. How do you not put Derek Lewis in the top 5 when he has a record for the most knockouts in a best strikers of all time tier list? How do you not put Derek Lewis as one of the top 5 strikers of all time when he holds the record for the most knockouts? Think about it logically, chat. Think about it. Think about it logically. He literally has the most knockouts, and this is a tier list of the best strikers of all time. Just think about it for a second. It makes sense to have him in the top 5 best strikers of all time. Obviously, I'm fucking around. Get baited. Get fucking baited. Maybe even S tier. Maybe even S tier. Under Leon. We're putting Max under Leon. Ooh, we could put Max above Leon Edwards. I don't mind that one. Get fucking baited, chat. Get raw dog baited. We might tighten that up a little bit. Douglas, what are you doing? Well, in some fairness, Max does have the second most title time in the cage, with the only person ahead of him, RDA, being a grappler who didn't spend much of that percentage time. Strike. That's a good point, Larry. That's a very, very good point. That's a very good point, Larry, because it's heavyweight against the fucking blobs, and Ngannou goes over Lewis. None of those knockouts were anyway skilled in striking. Derek Lewis is B tier for his hot balls. So we're just putting Pavlovich above Lewis. You are generally retarded. Maybe even S tier. Most KOs in the worst division is like going to primary school and bragging about having the biggest dick. Going to primary school and bragging about having the biggest dick. Oh, God. Lately, we've seen Derek Lewis throw flying knees. That is true. Rage baiting. Low aura baiting. That was good rage baiting. Bro, Leon can kick. What the fuck? Max doesn't even kick. Lewis has kicks. True. Leon Edwards has kicks. That is true. Grown man laughing at himself, staring at a screen. I'm talking to you, chat, Eric. We need to get F5 by Brock Lesnar, not even stating him the best UFC fighter. You need to get F5 by Brock Lesnar for not even stating him as the best UFC fighter. Cash Bandit, can you not fucking read the screen, mate? It says best UFC striker of all time. Brock Lesnar was literally scared of getting hit in the face. F tier for Lewis, tie for the building. Tuivasa gets slept, bro. Derek might have a chance at A tier, but definitely not S tier. Definitely not S tier. Leon's a better striker than Max. Yeah, I guess Leon has more. Dude, the Leon Max thing seems to be bringing people up. Do we need to suss this one out? Are people upset about Max and Leon's placement on the list? Leon was one of the best at his prime. Max has been at the top for too long. I mean, Max has got title defenses as well. We can talk about that. People forget, man. Dougie is the master bear. Got him, mate. Let's just put MVP in S tier and go fuck ourselves in the ass afterwards. Fucking hell, Cheddhead. Calm down. Talking to himself in an empty room. I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to you guys, Eric. You're the one that's lying in bed right now messaging me on your phone with your little screen light on and your pants down, Eric. What the fuck is JDM doing in B tier? He's an 8-point striker, you fucking retards. He KOs with the net. What KOs does JDM have, Tim, in the UFC? Pull your fucking heads out and remember history. He's got TKOs. He hasn't got clean KOs, Tim. Lewis tricked Tarrelson into rushing at him. That's high IQ. People forget, but that's true. Lewis does use high IQ. He's a crafty vet. Where does Bella land on this list with JDM? They have the exact same amount of boxing. Bella? Who Bella, Robbie? What are you talking about? Strickland in C tier. We'll get to Strickland. Yeah, but whom all the Derek Lewis knock? I can knock out 100 guys and make it a record, but it depends who I'm knocking out. That is true. Max kicks a lot now. No, but Derek Lewis being next to either of them is crazy. Yeah, we're going to open the list up as more people enter into it, Kape. We could put Derek around here somewhere. We'll open the list up as it comes into it. Holloway or Poirier? I'm going with Poirier, mate. We ride with Poirier in this channel. Hey, it's my shorts that are down, not my pet. Sorry, Eric. Sorry. I'm in my man cave basement. Me too, Andrew. Why can't I see half the messages you're reading? I'm on all chat. I don't know, Nacho. I'm on live. I don't know. That's weird. And you're literally the mod. You should see everything that I should see. Imagine having Lewis below Thompson. What the fuck? Thompson has never KO'd anyone. It's not a KO list, Robbie. It's a strikers list. Derek is D tier, bro. I don't think we even agreed on C tier. We'll talk Derek down C tier, D tier for now. I lay belly down with my feet kicking in the air during the Dougie live streams. Nice one too, Smelly. Very cute. Adesanya D tier. They're just down here. We're just chatting. We're just bringing up people. We're just bringing people up. This is just the holding room. All right, chat. This is just, you know what? I'm going to move. Well, fucking hell. Let's do it like that. Let's lock the screen there. Let's move my holding room over here right now. There we go. I'll move my holding room off screen. There we go. Bilal and you're on Jew chat. It's all the way up. Bilal and JDM have the same boxing. Where is he? Bilal and JDM have Bilal does not have the same boxing as JDM. Masad is blocking the chat, probably. Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Oh, I do love Cowboys Muay Thai up the middle. Missed all of you guys from DJ Adam. What's up, Christian Edwards? A holding cell. Switch to all chat because it's vertical. Is the mod no refresh? I know. Where is the... Yeah, the mod didn't... But we started off vertical. So he should be getting vertical that, whether he likes it or not. Can you fight me? Yeah, sure, man. Saturday, midday, Flinders Street Station, Melbourne. Under the big clocks. I'm a little sad Max left featherweight before we could see him versus Gene Silver. Me too, dude. Him versus Gene Silver would have been fucking epic, dude. JDM has TKOs with all the limbs. How's MVP above him? Fucking flick kicking at distance. You guys are shit. Timmy's not happy. Timmy's not happy about the placement of the list. Click the 3 dots in the top right corner. Cap. I don't know what to tell you, Nacho. Bro, I'm tired of this Australian bias. Can we get Whittaker at A tier? True, I'm sick of the anti-Australian bias. People forget, man. Bilal had Canelo hands. Nope. What about Zabit Magashet? Absolutely not, Jesus. Absolutely not. The best striker, not best KO power. Boo, chat. Boo. Yeah, it's the best striker, not the best KO. Best striker. I was telling Capatheist how to switch. Oh, sorry, mate. Shit, it got Robert Whittaker, one of the best champs of all time. Alexander Volkanovski. Alexander Volkanovski. Where do we put young Volk? Volk is obviously higher on the list than Max Holloway. And people forget, Volk won the first round against Ilia Topuria. Didn't Zabit say he was going to fight for a title? He did. He did. SS tier. He is SS tier. Volk is A tier. Volk is A tier. Volk is technically... Now, since we're not counting KO power because of Derek Lewis, since we're not counting KO power and we're just looking at skill for skill, Volk is technically a better skilled striker than Ilia Topuria. So Volk is probably a high A tier fighter. Better than Max Holloway. Literally got a round off Ilia Topuria, and if he wasn't compromised, would have survived. Volk is probably A tier. Volk is B tier, let's be real. Volk is very good. Why? Obviously, I thought we agreed this is about skills, not success. This is about skills, absolutely, Capatheist. I agree. 3 rounds against Islam. 3 rounds against Islam Makhachev. 1 round against Ilia Topuria. Bryce Mitchell, SS tier. I get you guys can point at Max, but I can still disagree. Come for the lesson of me, put JDM over Flitter fucking MVP. MVP has got a better MMA skill set than JDM's tight boxing. He's good at striking, but his overall game and adjustments in the match are better than most. That's true, Kyle. Volk is a runner. Bro is an Olympic level sprinter. How is Volk a runner? How is Volk a runner? Robbie, how is Volk a runner? For what, the last round of the last round of his last fight? Not to mention, Max is all far away the most significant strikes landed with over 50% more than number 2 Strickland. So his striking differential and striking defense numbers are actually quite good. Yeah, depending on how much Max puts out versus how much he gets hit in the face. I see what you're saying. We have to consider KO power too, otherwise throw pillow fists for no use. By that sense, Ngannou is not a good striker. Volk got outstruck by Makhachev. People forget, man. Is this the one-round winner club? Volkan ain't an A-tier striker. He's a B-tier, which is still one of the best ever. He's just not skilled enough to be A-tier. I agree, Dougie. Volk is all-round a better striker. Bait. This is bait. Leg kick merchant. Volk's not a leg kick merchant. In all seriousness... In all seriousness, what just happened? I just took a deep breath, Andrew. We all just had a deep breath. Volk did outstrike Ilia Topuria round 1. He did. Volk did outstrike Max Holloway over 3 fights. Volk did outstrike Jose Aldo. Is it too early to have a beer for lunch? Absolutely not, Mr. C. Derek goes highest on B and Volkan A. This is a bold D tier. If you out him there, I will. If you out him down there, I will. If you out him down there, if you out him down there, if I out him, if I don't put Volk in S tier, Volk isn't S tier. Volk is S tier. He smudged Aldo. He did smudge Aldo against the Volk in every. Volk doesn't run. Lots of things go into beating other strikers and knocking people out. Sometimes you can do both things with 0 striking skill. That is true. He did smudge Aldo. That is true. Volk is A or A. Put A. Volk. I don't know. He also got struck by Makhachev. He did get outstruck by Makhachev. That is true. DBM, hey Dougie, wondering your thoughts on consensual lingerie wrestling match between McGregor's wife and Khabib's wife. I don't think Khabib's wife would be down for it, DBOM. You're letting number one distort. You're letting one number distort the whole picture. If a guy lands a lot more shots than he absorbs, and he has landed the most of all time margin of 1 to 10, then he's having absorbed the most, doesn't mean that he's a bad striker. I don't know about one of the best of all time. But I think it's fair to say one of the most. Yeah, he's absolutely... I think Max Holloway is C tier, dude. I get what you're saying, but still, like, Max Holloway is still getting paced up by people ahead of him. My glorious king, Volk. He's one of the best at mixing the martial arts, but he's not one of the 7 best pure strikers ever. I agree, Nacho. I agree. Volk is A. Fun fact, Dougie thinks JDM driving for MVP's ankles like Dagestani is the only way that he can win. Not true. I think JDM can do very well against MVP. Winning round 1 against Fury means nothing. He's calculating. That is not true at all, Mr. C. This is animal abuse. She doesn't get a say in it. True. She doesn't get a say in it. That's animal abuse. Conor McGregor's wife versus Khabib's wife. Go on, D. Get in there, D. Go on, my love. Get into the cage, my love. Best striker is Dana. Check the Saito. If it was good, why didn't he duck when Islam threw the bloody kick? Robbie, why do you hate Volk so much? Where's Marab? Marab isn't here right now. I don't mind A as well. Put Volk in A and move on. I think Volk can go in A. But where in A? Here's the thing. Because I love Volk. I think JDM's got better striking than Volk, no? Like, JDM's got a better striking style than Volk, no? JDM must have a better striking style than Volk. Because Volk wins so much by mixing everything in. Like, he does mix in the wrestling. It's not, like, Volk's very jab, low kick, overhand. Volk is low A tier. Yeah, I agree, dude. I think Volk is a very good mixed martial artist, but not an insane striker. I think Volk is probably just a really fucking good mixed martial artist. Like, I would say it's a little bit like that. Keep JDM. JDM's in B tier, yeah. Volk's a leg kick merchant. Low B tier, high C tier. Mixing the wrestling is part of the striking mixed martial art. It is part of it, but we're trying to make her like a just the best striker. Like, we're trying to take the wrestling out of it account. Islam is mid B or high C. We'll get to Islam. We'll absolutely get to Islam for sure. One of the most prolific, I said. Actually, by definition, he is the most prolific. I guess by definition, yeah. Max Holloway has gone on for one of the longest runs of all time. True. I have no idea at this point. You guys keep flip-flopping on what you're judging. Don't you love a good tier list, Capatheist? It's so hard to get the vibe absolutely right. That's what makes them so infuriating. F list puts CM Punk in the S tier, and that's the end of the list. Who's in A tier? So far, only Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. We're only going to have 5 names in A tier. We're only going to have 5 names in A tier. I mean, we have to put Islam above Volk since he outstruck him in the first fight and then brutally sparked him in the second. Do we have to do that, Nacho? Do we have to put Islam above Volk? How the hell is Holloway in C tier? I know, Doom7. That was a heated debate. That was a very heated debate. Real ones know that Flukas made a GOAT list just to make Volk higher on the list. He really did. He really did. Nacho is a traitor? Yeah, it is a fact. It is a fact, but here's the problem with it, account. I don't like it. I don't like that it's a fact. That's the problem I gotta have. The look on your face, dude, I'm so upset by that sentence. We gotta have new Umar Magomedov on the list. His wrestling is overrated, but his striking is under it. That is true. That is true. We could have, but is Umar one of the best of all time? We'll get him up here. Islam outboxed Dustin Poirier. Islam did outbox Dustin Poirier. Should we bring in Islam Makhachev now? I feel like we're ready to bring in Islam Makhachev now. The fucking great nuclear bomb of the real MVP of a striking list. All right, Islam Makhachev. Where does Islam Makhachev go on the greatest strikers of all time? Oh, Islam knocked down Charles Oliveira. Islam knocked out Alexander Volkanovski. Islam beat up Dustin Poirier. Islam outboxed Poirier. Yep. Marab outstruck Duma. Nacho, you're right. Magomed ain't alive. Should be on the list. Magomed will be on the list. Holloway is A tier for fuck's sake. He isn't Western. He isn't, dude. He isn't, man. We argued deeply about this. He's absorbed the most head strikes out of anybody ever. He's been like 10-8'd by Max Holloway, destroyed by Elliot Topuria. Yeah, he's not. Islam isn't a skilled striker. If we're counting the fact that he knocked down Volk, then we're judging success by not the skill. Islam is a very good Muay Thai striker, Capatheist. Marab is an S-tier striker if we don't count mixing the wrestling. Marab is absolutely not in there. Islam did now outbox DDP. There were times that... Wait, did Islam outbox DDP? Did Islam outbox DDP? Did Islam outbox DDP? Islam Makhachev versus DDP stats. Let's have a look. Islam versus Dustin. Stats. Islam versus Dustin stats. Let's go have a look at the stats. Where am I at? I've screwed my screen up. There we go. Let's have a look at the stats, people. Significant strike. Islam Makhachev. To 147. 147 right here, chat, at the top of the screen. I'm highlighting it. Islam Makhachev. Total strikes. Why is this screen not being the same? Transform. Reset the transform. There we go. $147 to Dustin Poirier, 104. Islam Makhachev outstruck Dustin Poirier. He did outstrike him. Umar Spark, where am I up to? Joshua Van. Joshua Van is so fucking good, it's insane, isn't it, Tyler? Marab is S-tier striker. We count the mixing with the arts. Islam didn't outbox Dustin Poirier. Islam looks better stood up because everyone is scared of his takedown. It's true, but he does have a very good Muay Thai base, right? Islam never fought DDP. I know, Dustin Poirier, not DDP. I'm retarded. Diamond Dustin Poirier. DDP, Diamond Dustin Poirier. He did outstrike him. Did not outbox. I mean, he did outstrike him. There are the stats right there. These are the stats right there. 147 to 104. Islam Makhachev tried 222 significant strikes. Dustin Poirier tried 218. Islam Makhachev outstruck Dustin Poirier. Max has better striking defense than Volk, Barboza, and much to my surprise, even Wonderboy and MVP. JDM is ahead of him in that regard, though. Nice one, Larry. Larry's still fighting hard for Max Holloway and his horrible ranking. You literally just said we weren't bringing up the wrestling and mixing martial arts. What are we when we're talking about Volk? I know, but Islam Makhachev has a very clean, crisp Muay Thai stance and Muay Thai striking. Like, Islam Makhachev is a Muay Thai striker that knows how to mix it up, just like Alexander Volkanovski. And Islam Makhachev